Hello, hello, welcome back to Wheel of Games. Today we're going to be playing some more Frosthaven. So, after last time, I went through the videos and discovered that I had indeed been missing out on experience. The game cleanup function was not adding the character's experience from their boards into the actual game itself, or into the character sheets. So I wasn't getting credit for either of them, so I'm not entirely sure how far behind I was in experience. Maybe I should be level 2 by now, but I'm not sure. So I went back and corrected for 2 scenarios worth of level 1 experience, which is 6, and I'm pretty sure I did it manually after the first one, so added 12 experience, and then I went back and found the numbers from the footage and added the experience they should have had from the last scenario back in. So we're actually fairly close to the next level. We're at 37, 38, and 42. And the threshold for level 2 is 45, so as long as we successfully complete the next scenario, we should level up. Right, we unlocked the boat last time. I still haven't named it yet. I'm going to hold off for a couple of episodes, see if any interesting suggestions come in. And I'm also recording this one shortly after the last episode came out. I'm trying to get ahead a little bit. So other stuff that I discovered I was forgetting to do. Inspiration. After each scenario that you complete, you get 1 inspiration for each character less than 4 that you have. Meaning each scenario, because we're a party of 3, we should be getting 1 experience. I've played 3 scenarios. That means that should be up at 3 as well. So I'm probably going to be constantly discovering things I forgot to do last time, and sorry, but I'll at least try to keep you up to date with the things I catch as I'm fixing them. Yeah, our Deathwalker earned a perk, and we removed a couple of -1 cards. I think we are all caught up. Stuff I fixed after last time. Now let's see what we want to do next. So we unlocked several branching paths after the end of last episode. We defeated the Snowspeaker, and so the Ice Speaker gave us a mission to deal with some Snowspeakers that were trying to bring down the mountain. But interestingly enough, that wasn't an emergency. They keep them trapped on the mountain so that they can't finish their spells. So even though narratively that sounds like the most important thing we should be doing, we can split, maybe take a break, do some other stuff. So we unlocked Edge of the World, and I believe this is perhaps leading us towards lurkers. Lurkers are sort of like crab spider entities that I don't think we've encountered yet in this game. And also the Crystal Trench, there were some kind of automatons going into a crystal field. We could go after that. And we've got 1 side scenario that we unlocked. Yeah, number 65. A Strong Foundation is a personal quest that one of our characters has. There's a quest series, and once we followed it to its conclusion, we might be able to retire the Bone Shaper. I think we should either do this or the Avalanche mission, based on the priorities. Here we go. The Scenario Picker. This also gives us a measure of the complexity of the missions. So say a 2 out of 3 is medium complexity, whereas a 1 is a low complexity. I still think it should be an emergency. I feel like we should probably take on the Avalanche mission. So we need a summer road event. So we take the next one off the top. By the side of the road, you find a carriage parked, its owner wiping sweat from his brow. An old man gives a toothless grin in your direction, waving you over to the makeshift shop he's set up. Lots to see here, plenty worth having, and better prices than you'll get in any of the cities. Fewer laws out here, he chuckles to himself as he lays thick carpets by the side of the road, spreading out his wares, shiny armor and weapons of all kinds. I'm still setting up, but you're welcome to take a look, though. And look with your eyes, not your hands. Never know when bad luck follows from an old owner. Browse the low prices of the shop. You could pick something up on the cheap. We don't have a lot of money at the moment, though. And then ask if he has anything not on display. We don't have a shop yet in the city, so maybe this is our chance to simply grab something. I hope this is an event that you can shuffle back in. I'm willing to say even if it's not, I want to explore the other option at some point. So I want to do option A. Perhaps later when we have, say, more money to afford the special stock, option B will become available. If not, then we just got really unlucky. So option A is what I pick. True to his word, the shopkeep carries everything you'd find back at home, but for significantly better prices. You briefly wonder how he's able to keep his costs so low, but then decide it's better not to ask. All characters may purchase 1 item from the available supply for 5 gold less than its normal cost. There is no current purchasable item supply. All characters who do so start the next scenario with one curse. So that's going to go away. I feel like we just got unlucky getting that right at the beginning of the game when we have nothing we can buy. I'm tempted to just discard this one, and it sucks to not be able to engage with the card at all. I don't know, I feel like I want to at least shuffle it back in, because we never had a chance to do anything. I'm going to put that on the bottom of the active deck. This is more house ruling for fun, because we didn't get to do anything with it. I don't think I'm going to pick a new card, though. I'm just going to treat it as though it was a shuffle thing. That's it for our road event. So, now that we've done our road event, I think we can go ahead and load in the scenario. Let's go. Preparing. Hey, got it right. Got everything configured on startup this time. I see the app is going. Yep, it definitely feels like we're going up the hill from right to left here. Oh, yellow. I'm not familiar with yellow terrain, so I get to look something up. And scenario book for Avalanche in the Copperneck Mountains. Okay, our scenario goals are: the scenario is complete when all characters have escaped. At the end of that round, read 65-1. It's another escape one. We don't have to kill everybody. Scenario effects. Each character gains Brittle. Okay, this is another effect that is new in Frosthaven, so I want to make sure I'm getting it right. I've already memorized it. It's page 28 is the conditions page. So Brittle, new status effect here. The next time the figure would suffer damage from any source, they instead suffer double that damage, and Brittle is removed. Brittle is also removed if the figure is healed. It doesn't go away at the end of the round, which a lot of the negative status effects do. This is a bit like Poison, except it's a one-time double, and the healing will get rid of it. You stand at the end of an Algox tunnel. Behind you stretches a winding maze of ice and rock, a long series of passages, painstakingly carved through the interior of Snowspeaker Mountain. Before you, a narrow trail hangs over a cliff face, leading perilously up toward the mountain's peak. A blistering storm of snow and wind howls past the mouth of the tunnel like a demon chorus. Follow the trail beyond the tunnel, the Ice Speaker Chief had told you. Then curve around to the highest peak. There you will find the snow-speaking wretches. Destroy them, or Snowscorn is lost. You had nodded your understanding, but you now realize that scaling a mountain is much easier for the Algox. As it is, you're barely equipped to avoid hypothermia, much less hike over slippery rock through a blizzard. But there's no way around it. Frosthaven's safety hangs in the balance. It takes several hours of grueling hiking, but eventually the peak emerges. Its rare streets of gray stone are half hidden by a blustery cloak of soft-blown powder. You shield your eyes and squint into the whiteness, but it seems that, bizarrely, the peak is growing. Its whiteness bulges outward, undulating, swallowing the exposed gray stone. It's getting closer like a wave of snow. You turn and run, and the air shakes. Legs pump, arms flail. You move, but it's not enough. Your legs are too slow and the path too steep. You turn to see how much time is left, and a blur of whiteness envelops you. The mountain roars, and you are consumed by the noise. When the avalanche stops, you blink in the darkness. You've been entombed in snow, and already the air is drawing thin. You need to find a way out, and you need to find it fast. Okay, so our special rules. Each snowdrift and snow rock in the scenario has the scenario level plus number of characters' hit points. So that's 1 plus 3, 4. They are enemies to you and allies to all monsters. At the end of each round, each character adjacent to at least one snowdrift or snow rock suffers hazardous terrain damage. Nice, they're finding a way to get hazardous terrain in. I feel like that's the thing that occurred least often in the original Gloomhaven that I wish had shown up more often. Just there was at least one item that is useless without that hazardous terrain, so... And if anyone is exhausted, the scenario is lost. We all have to make it through. Snow rocks and snowdrifts. Those are the yellow markers, so if we end the turn next to one of those, they will give us hazardous terrain damage. On level 1, the hazardous terrain damage is 2. See, at the end of each round, not each character's turn. Let me see if I can find a terrain key that checks on the golden stuff, just to be sure. So this is listed as an objective. Objectives are tied to the goals of some scenarios and typically need to be destroyed or protected. In either case, the special rules for the scenario will assign a maximum hit point value to each objective, usually based on scenario level and number of characters. Objectives can be targeted by attacks and suffer damage, but are immune to all conditions and forced movement. They're considered to have initiative 99 for focusing. unless otherwise stated, but don't take turns. Any damage an objective suffers is marked by placing damage tokens directly on it. When the total damage is equal to or greater than its maximum hit point value, it is destroyed and removed from the map. Objectives are considered figures, and the hexes they are in are considered occupied. They are not considered obstacles. Okay, so I'm glad I looked that up. They are considered figures, so that may matter. I'm sure some characters have very special rules that say, but one of the basic guys has things that specifically interact with obstacles, like you can destroy them and move them around. They want to make sure that you can't simply pick it up and toss it out of the way or something. They are basically enemies that don't attack, and each one of them has 4 hit points. So really they're just in our way. They're not actively hurting us. They just hurt us if we end next to them. And let's see, what else are we going to run into? We're going to have frost demons, which were in Gloomhaven, and snow imps, which were not in Gloomhaven. So, new enemy for me to learn about. Some doors and snowdrifts. Now our loot table, a bunch of money, bunch of lumber, but very little metal or hide. We're kind of looking for hide. And when we open the first door, we'll read section 12.2. Look at the map. Yep, because we don't have all 4 characters, we don't have as many things as appeared on the map. So we have frost demons. Now the snow imps don't have a lot of health. Let's check out their stats in the app, because that has everything calculated in case there's, like, based on a level or something. So the frost demons, we've got one elite that has 2 retaliate and a regular one that only has 1 retaliate. Basically a mass of hit points that does some melee damage. Nothing too frightening there. Then when we look at the snow imp, it uses that brittle status effect that's new. So they don't have a lot of health. They don't even have like any shield or something. A lot of low hit point creatures get shield to balance it out, but no, they're very squishy. Because they're imps, there's a good chance that the imps have ranged attacks in a lot of their abilities. I just remember like the forest imps were a big pain. Black imps were like artillery practically with the range that they had. So I think we can assume that the imps are going to have very long ranges. I was able to think of one more thing before we got too much farther. Battle goals! Do it at the beginning of the scenario. Haha. Okay. So left to right, we'll go Banner Spear first. Our options, so you can see them better. Here. First one, Promoter. Perform an ability targeting an ally before your first rest and in between each of your rests. You can consider the movement ones. An ally gains, like, movement of 2. If we count that, then Promoter, I think, is going to be very easy for this character to do. If I start finally using those banners, the banners are allies, can use the abilities to move them constantly. This would count towards that. Die Hard. Never have your hit points drop below half. But this is our tank. I don't think we want to go that way. And Bully. Kill an enemy that has 2 or more negative conditions. I made sure to shuffle the deck. Maybe there's multiple copies of this, but these last 2 have come out last episode too. But no, let's do the Promoter. And just like last time, I'm going to put it up so that I don't forget. Put those off to the side. And Bone Shaper. So our first one is Wastrel. Lose a card to negate 2 or less damage from an attack. This is the kind of thing that I could do at the very end to force it to happen. So it's an easy one to get. Tormentor. Apply a different negative condition to an enemy that already has one. Like, applying poison is something that this character has a distinct ability to do. Let's see, Immobilize would work. Wound, Muddle. I think we could probably pull that off with the Bone Shaper. So let's be a Tormentor for our Bone Shaper. And now for the Deathwalker. Okay, oh wow, never perform a basic action, but it's worth 2. Maybe we could go for that. Collect more loot than any other character. Deathwalker doesn't have that many loot abilities. And never short rest. That's probably the easiest one for us to do, although in the Avalanche maybe we're going to have some kind of event that's going to make us want to move quickly. Now we are ready to select our cards for the first round. All set and ready for round 1. Let's begin. And what do we have? Oh, they're both going pretty fast. Let's see what they've got. So Frost Demons, Gather the Frost. They're immobilizing all enemies within range of 2, and if Frost is currently strong, they heal themselves for 3. Well, Frost is not currently strong. before I go any longer, I need to make sure I mark us with the brittle. All three of our characters start the scenario so that the first damage we take will be doubled, I assume because of the avalanche. They're not actually moving. The Frost Demon is staying in put. There's actually nobody within range 2 of any Frost Demons right now, so they're basically just doing nothing. And since they're the first ones, we might as well just mark them off right away. So, Frost Demon's already done. So it's going to be Disha. Then the Snow Imps are going to strengthen all of their allies within range 2 and muddle all of their enemies within range 2. Okay, so we can get to Disha. And Disha, we're going to be doing some interesting stuff. I looked very carefully at how those objective markers were defined, and because they count as figures, they can be wounded. Even though it's basically a rock, it's a snow rock, so we can melt the snow with an incendiary throw. We used this for the first time last mission. Basically throw at someone within range 3, and if they suffer damage, the target and all enemies adjacent to it gain wound. Well, if we look back at the battlefield, if I can hit, say, this spot right in the middle, I can wound all of those enemies, including the obstacles just in the back. Maybe I can't really wound them, but at least if I target that, and deal any damage, I will definitely wound both of the enemies. I'm going to place down my first banner ever. I'm going to place down the Banner of Strength. Get 2 XP for that. The way banners work, they're basically stationary allies. It's just going to stay in place, and then all allies within range 2 of the banner get to add 1 to one of their attacks each turn. It's not all the attacks, sadly. It's a bonus of 1. We're only going to be making 1 attack, and the Banner Spear is an ally of the banner, which I suppose you can't really see it at the top, but since we're getting out a new summon, yeah, if we look at it, they actually are spears. Like the Banner Spears, their banners are in fact all spears. And some of the higher level cards, like you can throw them forward instead of having to use your ally movement stuff. So, Banner of Strength. It also has 4 hit points, so it's not going to die as fast as, say, the Reinforcement would with his 1. But this is a loss card, so we're not going to be able to keep getting it back over and over again either. So let's place this down and then get set for our Incendiary Throw. It does have 4 hit points, but we already know the Frost Demon isn't attacking, nor is the Snow Imp, so I feel a little bit okay putting it out front, strictly because I'm going to need to keep following it, or just staying ahead of it and keeping it up with us. And now we can attack something within range of 3. So we are attacking the Snowdrift in the center, and thanks to the Banner of Strength, it's an attack of 2. So player 1, attack of 2. Of course we get a -1, but we still dealt damage, and now, yep, here's the basic damage markers, right? Yep, just a 1. If something doesn't have its own stat block, we can just mark it with these. Frost Demon number 5 is wounded, and Snow Imp, well, the Elite Snow Imp is wounded. So got those set, dealt the damage, dealt the wound. Is there anything left from these cards that we need to hit? Oh, I made fire, which may be important for the Frost Demons. Sometimes having the opposite element will hinder them in some way. Okay, those are both marked. So Disha is done. Frost Imps. So Elite goes first, takes their damage, and when it says strengthen all, that does include themselves as well. Go back into the app, they are strengthened. Yeah, basically all of them are strengthened. I can just go straight down the board, and some of us are muddled. And so anyone within range 2, the Banner of Strength doesn't attack, but technically it's muddled. I can see some weird cards, like the Bone Shaper has a thing that can make an ally attack. Technically that could target the banner and make it do an attack, even though it doesn't have an attack value of its own. Yeah, grant one ally attack 5. Technically that would work, so I think I do still need to mark the banner as muddled, even though it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, the spear is confused. Our Deathwalker is also muddled. Okay, Snow Imp is done. Back Snow Imp simply doesn't move. They're going to be strong next turn, which that part stinks. But the Snow Imps are done. And now it's over to Zane, Deathwalker. We are just going to prep. So we're activating Call to the Abyss. All of the Deathwalker's attacks are going to mark enemies when that enemy dies. New Shadow. And we've got to move up to 3. I really wanted to just toggle the dark. Now I was debating whether I wanted to move up to there. I don't want to be next to them because that's just going to inflict us with Brittle. But we still have Brittle, and it's not going away this turn. Does Brittle modify the hazard damage? Damage from any source. We really don't want to move up there because that would deal 4 damage with the Brittle, and that would suck. But I want to be moving forward. Yep, this is a move of 3 with the darkness, so I'm not using a basic action. So the muddle goes away at the end of this turn. Okay, and Isone is the last one of our troop to go. We're going to summon a shambling skeleton. And I really thought somebody was going to move up. Maybe I was going to get a lucky hit. I did not. No enemies have died, so we're going to take 2 damage and then heal one of them back with the Fell Remedy. And we're summoning a skeleton for 1 XP. So let's get skeleton number 1. Come on down. And the skeleton is also going to benefit from the Banner of Strength. This is a case where their 2 abilities are multiplying each other. We've got number of people in each one of number of zombies, or skeletons, I suppose. Multiply that by how many are still in range of the Banner of Strength. That's what I'm hoping for. That is going to complete... Oh, Brittle. Brittle is damage from any source, including damage they do to themselves. You're not at 1 hit point down. You actually suffered 4 damage and then recovered 1 back. At least the Brittle is gone, but I did not consider that when I was choosing that ability. At least the Bone Shaper is in the back. Hopefully those imps don't have any area of effect attacks. I think the Frost Demons might have one. Yeah, the Frost Demons, I think, have their own ability deck. Because you can't combine like Frost Demons and Sun Demons and Flame Demons. They just do things that are so different from each other that I'm sure that's a unique deck and not a demon deck. Okay, Isone is done, and that's going to bring an end to the first round. And it's time to pick our abilities, and we'll be right back. Ready for round 2. And start. Ah, they managed to get in front of us again. Okay, so what do we have here? The imps are going to phase out. That's a new one. So they're going to have a shield of 5 for this round. They're going to heal themselves, and they're going to create 1 element of any type. I wonder how the monsters interact with the choice. They can make 1 of anything. It doesn't consume anything else. The Frost Demons are doing a hasty assault, but they're at the very end of the turn order there. Move of 3 or 4, and then an attack of 2. So a not strong attack. Best benefit of that attack is its speed, and they're going last anyway, so that's a boon for us. Sucks that these snow imps are going to get the shield of 5 for this turn, so they're probably not taking damage. His strengthen goes away. He still does take the wound damage at least, so this one is pretty much dead to the wound even if we don't hit them again, as long as they don't heal themselves. And the one in the back, all it does is gets rid of its strengthen, but they both have 5 shield. Okay, it says, if a monster infuses or consumes a wild or mixed element, the party decides which element is infused or consumed, meaning I do not have to infuse frost to help out the Frost Demons. I can infuse, let's say, earth, because in just a moment, that's probably going to help me out. Because if I've got earth, I can poison extra enemies. So those pesky imps have actually helped me and poisoned themselves. Okay, but that's going to do it for the imps. Their turn is done. And now Disha ended up acting second after choosing a very fast attack. We are going to move up, grant 2 allies within range 2 a move of 2, and then we are going to use Resolved Courage for a strong attack and hit everyone in front of us. So the goal here is to move up, hopefully take out that first pesky Snowdrift, and do as much damage as we can to that Frost Demon. Hopefully the Deathwalker can finish them off later in the round. But we're moving up right into attack range. We're going to get a Retaliate of 1 most likely, which is the best way to get rid of Brittle, because you're guaranteed it's only going to be 1 damage doubled up to 2. In fact, I'm sure they planned it that way so that the players would learn this. To have Frost Demons the first time you encounter Brittle. So we've moved up. Now 2 of our allies within range 2 can also move up. So what I can do is I can move the Death... Yeah, these are the only 2 who can do it. But if I move the Deathwalker up, I can move the banner up behind us so that it's essentially moving the banner forward. I guess technically the banner went before us, so it's no longer muddled. that didn't turn into anything. So it's an attack of 3 against, because that's behind us. We're hitting the Frost Demon and the Snowdrift right there. We want to take that Frost Demon down as much as we can. If we can get it down to 2 health, then wounds will take it out quickly enough, even if we can't hit it with anything else this round. So we're going to spend the extra 1 on the Frost Demon, which means it's attack of 4, and then an attack of 3 against the Snowdrift right after. Yeah, let's also use our Spyglass to gain advantage on a single attack. So we're going to have advantage against the Frost Demon. So draw our player 1 card, up with advantage against the Frost Demon. Ooh, a +2? Well, we are already at 4. We just one-shotted the Frost Demon, which means we don't take the retaliate damage, so we keep our brittle, but I am willing to take that exchange. We've got our first kill here. Let's see, I should note, we've satisfied Promoter for this rest because the one that made our allies move. And now we get our attack of just 3 against the Snowdrift. I'm hoping we kill it so that we don't have to worry about maybe taking 2 damage. So one more of these cards. And we missed. We missed the Snowdrift. Well, that can happen. No, it's funny. If I didn't have the advantage earlier, we would have just gotten the +2, and you've had a +0 against the Snowdrift. We would have been perfectly happy until we missed on our following turn. It would have just hit some other time. Still, a good turn for the Banner Spear. We killed one of the toughest enemies. Well, second toughest enemy, I suppose, on the battlefield. Disha is done. Isoun is next, and more accurately, the Skeleton. So the Skeleton goes first. It's in the range of the Banner of Strength, so it's going to be an attack of 3, but the Snow Imp has Shield of 5. So unless we get the critical hit, we're not going to do any damage to that Snow Imp. But there's a chance, so let's pull the card. A +1. Attack of 4, still not good enough to hit the Snow Imp. Okay, and now Isoun the Bone Shaper's turn directly. We are going to use Transfer of Essence. Let's see, I want to leave the darkness in place, though, for the Deathwalker. So we're going to strengthen 1 ally. Let's make that be the Deathwalker, within range 3. And we're going to consume the earth that we made on the Imp's turn to poison 2 targets. And we get an experience for making use of that earth. Yeah, Zane is still going, but I honestly don't think we really need to use the when the next enemy dies this round thing, because I don't think Zane's going to manage to do that, and I don't think Exploding Corpse... It just says enemy. Can I have the exploding corpse of a Snowdrift? You know? Because if that worked, if I could just have this Snowdrift explode and have its corpse damage everything else... You know, this is one of those things where rules as written, it just says an enemy. This is my first experience with objectives at all. When the next enemy dies this round, it's a figure. Figures die. So really, I need to figure out if objectives as figures count as enemies. I want to explore the rules some more, and be right back. The best example I could think of to really put a pin in this is that each Snowdrift and Snowrock, they are enemies to you and allies to all monsters. The figures thing doesn't really matter. The fact is, they are enemies to us. On the card, when the next enemy dies this round, and the objectives thing it says is destroyed when the damage reaches their health, but destroyed versus dies is more of a organic versus inorganic thing. I'm sure objectives in the future might be... I guess they're always tokens, but I can imagine an objective token that represents a person. I do believe that we can Exploding Corpse a Snowdrift, at least according to the rules. Yeah, I spent some time researching this one, and I couldn't find any clarifications asking about this question, which I think is odd because people have to have played this one. It's been out plenty of time now for people to hit this scenario with a Bone Shaper. I'm going to explode the Snowdrifts, and maybe, hopefully not the one in the front, because that would, you know, with us being brittle, would be 2 doubles each of us. But if I can, say, explode the Snowdrift right behind the Snow Imp, and it just simply deals damage, that will just straight up kill the Snow Imp and just bypass all of that shield. And yeah, so we're going to activate the bottom of Exploding Corpse. And next enemy that dies, all allies and enemies adjacent to it just suffer 2 damage. So let's see if Zane can explode some snow. And in the meantime, we're going to strengthen our Deathwalker friend and poison 2 enemies within range 3. I already did the experience, so let's get into that. Yep, it has to be within range 3 of us. Oh right, we ended up killing that. I was going to poison that. So the Snow Imp is also poisoned. It doesn't help us right away, like in terms of dealing the damage to them, but if the Snow Imp would have been healed, I guess it'll get rid of both statuses, but at least it's going to block a heal from them later on. And our Deathwalker is strengthened, which will go away at the end of their turn. And that's it for the Bone Shaper, just prepping, and the next enemy that dies will explode. And now Zane. So the reason I was doing all of that was so that I can use Forceful Spirits and consume that darkness to get the bonus. So an extra point of damage and an experience. So 3 damage, 2 targets at range 2. And we can also move up to 2 spaces if we need to get in the right spot, or to get out of damage if we fail to destroy that snowdrift. Now, it's an attack of 3. We did get advantage, so we don't have to spend our spyglass for it. We are quite likely to kill this snowdrift, but I don't want to have that explode. I mean, the Banner Spear is more capable of getting the health back, but I don't want to be right next to that with the Deathwalker for this case. Although if I use the banner, I can attack that one and not feel bad about it. So yeah, it's an attack of 3 because I consume the darkness. If I use the banner ability on it, it's an attack of 4 with advantage. I think we are quite likely to kill that snowdrift. So let's blow this snow. Okay, at player 3. Come on, 2 cards. Second one. Okay, so with the advantage, that's okay if we got the zeros, because these only have 4 hit points, which means we have killed an enemy, and its corpse explodes somehow. So it deals 2 damage. So 2 damage to that, 2 damage to that, and 2 damage to the Snow Imp, which doesn't get benefit from all of that shield it had. The Elite Imp is gone. We've started building a path, and we still have 1 more attack of 3 left over. Oh, also because we attacked the Snowdrift with the Deathwalker. Does Snowdrifts leave shadows? This is some weird rules reading here, but you may place 1 character token on the target of the attack. When that enemy dies, place 1 shadow in or adjacent to the hex it occupied. It was an enemy, so based on the way we're reading these rules, I can place the shadow in or adjacent, so I might as well try to move it forward to the... it's always hard to keep these shadows up with us. So, place it 1 space over, and now we've got our second attack. We still have advantage for this whole turn, it doesn't go away until the end. If we can deal at least 1 damage to this Snowdrift, it's out of the way and we don't take the hazard damage. So it's an attack of 3. It would be at disadvantage because it's a ranged attack at range 1. The Strengthen cancels it out, so it's a straight attack of 3 against that Snowdrift. Player 3. Oh good, +1. That would have just one-shot a Snowdrift. This one does not explode. As funny as that is. That's a pretty good turn. And was there anything else? We still have the movement. We could move 2 and then move all shadows up to 1 hex. Let's see, do I want to move up? I could move forward 1 space. Yeah, the Frost Demon, the Hasty Assault, is a movement of 4, so it can get through that hole we just made. It can reach anyone in this line. So Disha is going to be its target, unless I moved our Deathwalker up and in the way. We are even more brittle than Disha, so we are not going to move forward, as much as I would like to jump on some loot. If I go into this space, I'll get attacked. If I go into that space, I'll take the damage from the Snowfall's hazardous effect. But when we're ending the turn, we have boots. We have the flexible slippers, so loot an adjacent hex instead of the hex you occupy. We can just get that out of the way. We can loot the 3D effects. Accidentally grabbed it in midair. So we can loot the hex that was next to us instead of our own. and we can grab this first loot icon. So what do we get from ending Zane's turn? 1 axe nut. Oh, and I finally found a reference for the names of the different things. So Arrowvine, axe nut, corpse cap, flame fruit, rock root, and snow thistle. So that's what the axe nut actually looks like. It's an axe head on the bottom, but it's not automatically adding them for us. Okay, good job, Deathwalker, and now the Frost Demon. Singular now, although it does have advantage. I forgot about that part. But we needed to get rid of that snowdrift. So movement of 4. Since we are all the same distance away, it targets Disha just within range. So it's an attack of, at least it's only 2, thanks to the hasty assault. Attack of 2 at advantage for this Frost Demon. And it's going to get doubled, but I do have a couple of protective things that can maybe make this a little bit less bad. So, monsters. It has advantage. Oh, it's got a miss and a -1. That is a great advantage for the enemies to have. So they get to skip the miss, but they only dealt 1 damage. Now, it does get doubled, attack modification order. It specifically says, okay, there is an exception, because conditions would normally be applied as like an attack bonus, but apply the effects of, there's brittle is the negative one, there's also a protective version. That is after shield. We'll just take the 2 damage, because yeah, I want to suffer 2 damage to get rid of the brittle. That's the best thing we can deal with on brittle. So, the brittle's gone. Only one who is still brittle is our Deathwalker. And if we can get a cure on the Deathwalker, then that will go away. Okay, Frost Demon's turn is done. There are no more Frost Demons. Excellent. And now we can end this round. Ooh, pretty good round. And now it's time to pick our cards for the next round. Almost forgot, our Bone Shaper did apply poison to the imp, the elite imp that later got combusted, thanks to the exploding snowdrift. That imp was already wounded, and we applied poison to it, so I believe we have achieved Tormentor. It already had 1 or more negative conditions. We applied a new one. So, first one is complete. The other 2, we have to wait until the end of the scenario, so... But hey, good bonus there. Let's keep things going, and start the next round. What do we have? The Snow Imp is doing nothing special, which for them means they get to fly up to 2, attack of 1, inflict brittle at range 3, so it's not a nasty attack by itself. And then the Frost Demon also doing nothing special. Move 3, attack 3. A very simple turn for us to keep track of. Now, our people, one of them is going very fast, one's in the mid, and one's a little bit late. Our Deathwalker is getting to go first. The first thing I'm going to do is activate Fluid Knight. The next time we would suffer damage, we can teleport to a shadow and then remove the shadow and negate the damage. This card would then get discarded. Very nice way to... and it's also optional, so if we have a really nasty brittle attack incoming, we can just sort of dodge it without losing a card with Fluid Knight. And we're going to use the top of Shadow Step, so move 3 up to a shadow, and then attack 3. And that's going to allow us to push forward. So when we go up here, that move up to a shadow, our Deathwalker is going to run straight past the Frost Demon, and we're going to try to take out the next Snowdrift in the sequence. So there's already 2 damage on this thing. It's an attack of 3. We don't need to get an advantage on this one. Okay, attack 3. Oh, +1. So this Snowdrift has also been eliminated, making a little bit easier path for ourselves to move forward. And when we start looking towards the next thing, maybe 1 room, maybe 2, and then a sort of finale area, where whoever launched that avalanche at us is waiting. So we've moved forward, we took out a Snowdrift. We can probably run past the next one, but I think I may want to take out 1 more Snowdrift before I'm done. Zane is done. Then the Snow Imp is next. It has a range 3 attack. This is the only downside. It's an attack of 1 from this Snow Imp at our brittle Deathwalker. If it ends up getting a real good one, we could use that Fluid Knight immediately. Let's see how it did. +1. So that would be 2. If we didn't do anything about it, it would deal 4 damage to us. And that would suck, but I also don't want to get rid of the shadow if I can help it. So I think I'm just going to immediately make use of that Fluid Knight card we played. So we removed the shadow, we negated the damage, so we're still having that brittle status, but the shadow prevented the damage for us. Just keep it nearby. Okay, and Brittle was re-inflicted, but we never lost it for this character. And the Snow Imp is done. Now it's Isone, and more specifically, the Shambling Skeleton's turn. I'll have it shamble forward a space. It is still within 2 of the Banner of Strength, so it's an attack of 2, bumped up to 3. There is a Retaliate of 2 incoming, though. So that part's gonna suck. Retaliate bypasses shield, so the Warden's Robes won't help us. Still attack of 3, thanks to the Banner of Strength. The Bone Shaper's turn proper. We are going to activate 2 ongoing cards, and 1 experience, 2 experience. Bone Shaper really farms that XP. So all of your summons attacks are unaffected by Retaliate from this point forward. The skeleton went first, so I couldn't activate that beforehand, but now for the rest of this scenario, we can ignore the Retaliate for all of our skeletons on any more Frost Demons. Especially since when we looked up at the summon, or the map, we're only dealing with Frost Demons and Snow Imps on this map. We're not going to have any other Algox popping in. So any Frost Demons will have the some protection from their Retaliate now on. And we're summoning the Wraith. So reinfuse that darkness, and the Wraith's going to be coming in. Since the Wraith is also someone who sort of sticks to the back, I have a feeling that the Wraith is going to be benefiting from that Banner of Strength as often as possible. And this does not wound us, thankfully. So we get to bring our Wraith onto the battlefield. Just has to be adjacent to us. Let's see. I'm not sure if there's a best spot for it. I might want them back a space just in case the Frost Demon gets a area of effect attack. Because if I summon there, they're still in range of the banner. They're still within range of attacking the Frost Demon in the future. But we're too spread out to get hit by a blizzard of 1 centerpiece in every spot around it. A 7 hex. So, Wraith is on the board, and that's going to be it for the Bone Shaper. Now, the Frost Demon's nothing special. We're only talking between the Shambling Skeleton and Disha, and the Skeleton went first, so the Skeleton's going to be the target of this attack. Attack of 3. That said, if we get any kind of minus at all, the Warden's Ropes might be able to save it. And the Deathwalker can use the that scepter to add a shield to the skeleton as well. So we have up to 3 we can put into this defense. And the attack is 3. So what do we have? Ooh, a -2. It's net attack of 1. We have to use something to keep the skeleton alive. I think let's use the Deathwalker's scepter, because that is going to allow us to hold on to the stronger shield. This one's more adaptable, but the stronger one maybe will save the skeleton from a stronger attack next time. So, skeleton survives. Ha! Take that, Frost Demon. And the Soul Frost Demon is done, and it's Disha's turn. Okay, the plan here is to get a pincer movement set up around that Frost Demon, get him muddled for next turn. We've got a movement of up to 4 to make it happen. So we just have to be on the opposite side from another enemy, get the XP. So it's an attack of 5, we can move up to 4 to make it happen. So we're going to end up taking some hazardous damage because we're going to end this round next to a Snowdrift. But I think it's worth it. We'll get some loot and an attack of 5 against this Frost Demon. We're also probably going to take some Retaliate unless we get some extra luck here. But attack of 5, boosted up to 6 from the Banner of Strength. Now let's check. I think we used our Spyglass earlier. Yeah, so we can't get advantage here. So yeah, I really didn't end up needing the movement of 4. But I thought I might have to get like around the Snowdrift or something if Zane completely failed. Maybe I move people to different spots. Yeah, I could have just used a basic movement. Okay, so attack of 6 against the Frost Demon. Come on, let's get a lucky pull. Player 1. -1. Not a lucky pull, but we still did 5 damage. Okay, we're going to take 2 from Retaliation. And yeah, Banner of Strength was included in that. And I need to muddle the Frost Demon. There we go. They are muddled. Okay, good job, Skeleton. Thanks for the assist. I know I'm about to take 2 more damage from the Snowdrift, so I'm gonna consume that potion. That healing potion we crafted last outpost phase. Just get a heal 3 on self. There we go. So we're gonna heal 3, and then let's see, once we get to the end of the round, which we're about to get to, but in order, is we're gonna get loot, 1 coin, which translates to 2 gold, and then we end the round, so we are next to a Snowdrift, and we'll take our damage there. Okay, and let's apply that 2 gold. Anything left on this board for this round? Nope, that was the end of round thing. Thankfully, it did say that only characters take that damage. It doesn't say, like, all figures controlled by the characters. It's specifically our 3 characters that would have that. I don't think our allied figures would get touched by that, because they are not considered characters, they are summons. So, like, if I moved the Banner of Strength up to there, it wouldn't take the damage from the Snowdrift. At least that's how I'm reading the rules here. And we'll be back with the next round in just a moment. We're back and ready to start the next round. Okay. Yep, we're all going pretty fast, and we beat out the 2 enemies. The Frost Demon wants to use Frozen Shards. Attack 3 at range 2, and they'll consume Frost to make that attack worst. There isn't any. Snow Imp Calculated Strike. Attack 2 with Brittle at range 3. Yeah, looks like the imps are getting those ranged attacks all the time. So we're going to grant 2 allies within range 3. Movement of 3, not moving ourselves. And then we're going to Unbreakable Wall attack something. So the goal here is to just move the banner up. Something that I haven't talked at all about before, because it's also new to Frosthaven, but there's something called Masteries that is entirely new. Each class apparently has 2 of them. That's what it looks like so far. And it's sort of a special skill challenge where if you manage to do it, then you get a free perk. Like, not just a check, but a full perk when you complete one of these mastery challenges. So the one that I think is entirely on the table in this scenario is the bottom one. Perform a banner summon ability on your first turn, which we did. Keep it alive and within 3 range of you for the entire scenario. Yeah, I'm going to try to do that. Each character has a few, but the other ones seem much tougher to do. Like, when that says kill at least 15 of your summons, that's you doing that to your own summons. Hardly even have any ability to do that. Like, maybe if our summon, like we pulled that Skeleton 1 first turn, if it manages to kill 6 enemies and stay alive the entire scenario, we will promote it and name it. I think that's a bit less likely. And the shadow manipulation stuff, remove 7 shadows in 1 round? We can only add 5 shadows to the board at once. We do not have the capabilities to do that at the moment. And place or remove 1 shadow each round? Possible, but very difficult, and we have already failed that one. I am going to try to keep the banner up close with us. Now, notably, if we don't kill the Frost Demon, it's going to be attacking the banner with its ranged attack. So that would suck. I'm hoping to kill it with the Bone Shaper's minions, though. Nobody else is moving forward. We just moved the banner up. But now we are in position to do an Unbreakable Wall. Unbreakable Wall. Attack 3 and push with the banner as our ally. So when we look back at the battlefield here, we can either attack the Frost Demon or the stupid Snowdrift. I think I was planning to do the Frost Demon when I first put down that card. Realistically, I want the skeletons to kill it. Let's see if we can get that extra mastery thing going. I'm sure between the 2 of them, plus having the banner in play, they should manage it. So yeah, it's really just the strongest attack we have available. Let's see if we can take out a pesky Snowdrift. So it's an attack of 3. We get our +1 from the banner, so it's an attack of 4 against the Snowdrift. And this is just to save 2 damage from ourselves. So let's go. -1. So that Snowdrift will have 3 damage, but is still alive. You cannot do forced movement on these objectives, so it just sits there. We already got our experience, so Disha is done. Now it's Isone and the minions' turn. Shambling Skeleton gets its attack. It is within range 2 of the banner. It gets the +1. This is an attack of 3 against the Frost Demon. Ooh, +1. So attack of 4. This skeleton has finished off the Frost Demon. Let's track him with markers on there. If he gets up to 6 kills, somehow, which will be very difficult, but if he manages it, we gotta name him. Now, something that I just thought of related to that whole mastery discussion we had earlier, these snowdrifts count as enemies, and we can kill them, and all this skeleton is going to do, because they are dumb, is it can move. It's going to move towards the closest enemy and attack it. Which means if I just leave it back here, it's going to, over time, kill all 3 of these snowdrifts. It's going to take a bunch of time to do it, though, and it's never going to reach 6 that way. But also, I can't make them behave any smarter unless I use that Horn of Command, so it's definitely weird. But that's the skeleton's turn. Now the Wraith goes next. Wraith has a movement of 2. Let's double check that. Yep, flying and movement of 2, range of 3, which means the Wraith can get up to there. It's within range of this enemy. We could boost it up with the Banner of Strength, but I actually want the skeleton to kill it, so let's see if I can... I don't want to take that bonus this time. I want a -1 for once on the Wraith. So, oh, we got the -1. Maybe we are fated to get a mastery with the skeleton after all. So the Wraith hit the snowbank but did no damage, because the Wraith is a very weak attack. Now it is Ison's turn directly. Let's see, the goal here was to use the Eternal Torment thing to grant an attack against the Frost Demon with our skeleton if the skeleton had somehow failed. Get an extra attack in on that Frost Demon if we needed it. So I can still curse an enemy at range 5, and I'm just not going to be able to grant a summon the ability. But we are going to re-infuse Darkness, which Zane is planning to use anyway. And we're just going to move forward. We're going to move up by 3. Because we're currently in the very, very back. I can stand directly on top of that loot token, so that sounds like a good idea. And now we are within 5, so we're just going to curse the Snow Imp. There's no attack related to this. We're just shuffling a curse into the monster deck. Let's end the turn and see what card we get. 2 coins, which adds up to 4 gold. Okay, Zane is next. Oh, I was already halfway there. So, Zane, I don't want to do any basic movement because of the specialist, so we're going to be able to move a shadow up to 5 hexes, and we can consume the darkness to have an attack of 3 at range 5, and most importantly, get 1 experience point. So, darkness is gone. Now, I'm already well within range of the Snow Imp, so let's kill it before it can make anyone else brittle. Oh, I think I did this between rounds. This person moved up and killed that snowbank, so the Deathwalker did create another shadow with that on the last turn. So now it's an attack of 3 against the Snow Imp. I think we're running low on cards, so we're going to be resting soon. Let's just activate that Spyglass and get some advantage, so we can be extra sure that it's about to die. So, attack of 3 with advantage. +0 and +2. We've got some serious overkill on this imp. It is dead, and we've got another shadow. Put the loot on top of the shadows. There we go. It is flanked by a bunch of snowdrifts, though. Good work, Deathwalker. Now we've got 2 shadows. From the bottom of the Deathwalker's other card, we can move a shadow up to 5. Shadows can't open doors, unfortunately. But if I move it up there, maybe I can take advantage of... It's good to have it moved up as far as possible. And in the space we can be in, maybe we can get a beneficial effect. And that's going to end Zane's turn. And all of the enemies are now dead, so they don't get any turns. And that means it's time for us to end this round. For the most part, there weren't a lot of cards to pick from, so we're ready to simply jump into this round. And what do we have? No surprises, because no enemies. So, Zane is going first. We've got a movement of up to 4 from the bottom of Eclipse, and I'm going to try to take out one of those snowbanks just so that we can get through the door more easily around that hazardous terrain issue. It's a range of 2, but we can remove shadows to get a bonus damage, range, Pierce is irrelevant, and an experience for each shadow removed. So it's an attack of 3, and I can make it an attack of 4, and with the expectation of killing the snowdrift, I'll get a new shadow. So use the banner and remove 1 shadow, and that's going to give us a bonus damage, so it's an attack of 4 against that snowdrift now. We also get all-important experience. Actually, you know what? Just from the experience value, if we get that for each shadow we remove, that is a worthwhile use of a shadow. So it's an attack of 5 against this Snowdrift. Better not be a miss. Ah! It made the difference. We got the -1, so it's a 4 damage. We have killed a Snowdrift. So good job, Deathwalker. You have continued to take advantage of weird rules. Now, Disha is next. I forgot to take the 2 damage off between the turns. Sorry, that was an end of round thing. Should have happened last time. Really dangerous Snowdrifts. So I can either Javelin and summon our reinforcement dude. Really, I just want to do a basic move. I'm going to try using At All Costs for its healing ability, which I have not done before. So all allies get a heal of 3, but then I suffer 1 damage for each ally whose hit point value increased with the heal ability. So we get our XP, and let's take a look at how that works. So we don't heal ourselves, we are not our own ally, that's a carve-out. 3 health to them, we take a damage. 3 health to them, yeah, if there's a lot of summons, this could really hurt you, but take a 2nd point of damage. And we also perform a heal 3 on the Deathwalker, which clears out the brittle status, but their health value did not change, so we don't take damage from that one. This is actually a perfect way to get rid of brittle. If I'd thought of it right at the beginning of the scenario and like sped out that status effect, then I could have cured us all, well, everyone else of brittle with that right away. And now I can use the basic move on the other card, because I don't need to use the move 1 pull. So I'm going to get away from this stupid Snowdrift that's sapping all of my strength, just leapfrog with my banner, move forward a little bit, and not take damage next turn. And now Isone, and more specifically, the summons go first. So the Shambling Skeleton goes first, and is going to attack this Snowdrift. It's within the Banner Spear's range. It's only 2 damage on it right now. So you need to deal at least 2 damage with this attack of 3. +0. The skeleton has claimed another kill. Another kill of the Snowdrift there. And now the Wraith is up. The Wraith can move only up to 2. I guess it's targeting the Snowdrift, otherwise they would just move towards the Bone Shaper. So you could move there. And Wraith is done. He's shown himself. The idea here is we're going to summon a skeleton and then move up as far as we can. So we will be taking a couple of damage, and then move up by 4. So this one is sticking around. We'll get another experience. I do have a card in the Deathwalker's arsenal that can heal themselves, as well as any allies that are standing on top of a shadow. But I don't want to have to take the hazardous terrain damage to activate it. Isone also has boots. Yes, okay. So if we stand next to the looting thing, but not on it, we can still gain the effect. So I guess I'm only really moving forward by 2 here. Well, yeah, I guess I want to move first and then summon the skeleton. But move up by 2, and at the end of our turn, we're going to loot the space next to us. So we are going to end up looting that space. And once we get up to here, we take the 2 damage and summon zombie number 2. I moved them closer to make things easier, of course. Let's see. Now I want this one to stand just off to the side so that our main characters have a little bit easier of a time getting through that door as necessary. And Isone is now done, and Isone was the last one to move. So we're ready to end this round. And after this, we're just going to resolve long rests for everybody. The only one who doesn't have to is Isone, and we're not going to bust through the door with just one person and the other 2 resting. We can just jump straight into starting the round, and everyone's just at initiative 99, and I'll resolve all of their rests. They're going to each gain a couple of health from that as well. Banner Spear is going to get their 2 health. When we get to the Bone Shaper's turn, they actually do come closer to the Bone Shaper. Like that is their target. So they're each just going to move up by a space. And then the long rest is going to kick in. We're going to get the 2 health back. And now I just need to choose the cards to lose and restock the hands. So, after that, come back with our hands to go through that next door. See you in the next round. Let's get into that next room. So, our starting initiatives. We've got the Deathwalker early, going to try to open up that door. And then Disha and Isone will bring up the rear after whatever's inside the room hopefully moves forward in terrain. Here we go. Zane is first up, and what we're going to do is we're going to move up to 3 spaces, generate some darkness. And we're also going to use the Eclipse card to get more shadows in place in that next room. And we may even open the door and jump back, depending on what's in there. But since Zing is also right next to the door already, let's open it. And reading section 12.2. It was one room, 3 elite imps, and 2 regular frost demons. So slightly more than was in the last room. It's not too deadly. All those pesky snowdrifts that cause automatic hazard damage are still going to be a big pain. But first, let's read the section, see what new story has come up, and then we'll see what all of these new enemies are doing for this round. You scrabble and fight. There are creatures of the ice in this prison of snow as well, but nothing will stop you from digging yourself out. Remove all snowdrift tiles from tile 7B before setting up 2E and 2G. We have the section to read when the next door opens, which is at the end. So remove all the snowdrift tiles from 7B. Okay, so, it did it for us. It automatically removed all of the last, well, there's only one left, but I was still hoping to have the skeleton harvest some more kills out of that. But at the very least, the skeleton's going to have plenty to feast on in this next room. Let's take a look at what the enemies are doing. So, the imps are doing nothing special. Fly move of up to 2, attack 2, inflict brittle at range 3. Frost Demon is doing a movement of only 1, doing a 2-target attack, assuming we're within range, of course, and also infusing frost. Let's see, you can see that there's the line between it. I believe that because the frost is attached to the attack, if he doesn't get to do the attack, they don't get to infuse the frost. So they only have a movement of 1, which means if we stay back, we can avoid that attack entirely. Let's see, we can move up to 3. That said, he's going to be able to move up 1, so this space is in danger. If I move to either side, I wouldn't be in danger, but I would get hit by the stupid snowdrift damage. I can stand in the doorway, and I would only get attacked by, let's see, the guys in the back move up 2. Yeah, they couldn't reach past, say, this row. So if I'm in the cave door, I'll only get attacked by a single imp. I'll get brittle applied, but it could be a lot worse. So we don't really have to fear entering this room, at least not right away. Let's see, that also means that the attack I had prepared for the banner spear, which was really just, okay, let's move up to the door and attack anything that comes in really close. We're not going to hit anything with that. Slight waste, but I don't want to just reverse things because I'm trying to keep within range of that banner. And it looks like that may be tough. Yeah, we may as well move to that spot in the door, and I can put 3 shadows down, so that snow imp will just stay exactly where they are. So I'll put one where the frost demon's going to be, I'll put one where the snow imp is and is going to be staying, and I can put one more shadow tile down. Oh yeah, let's just have a corridor of shadow here. Perhaps I'll be consuming them to generate attacks. I'm sure we'll be moving up and trying to take out these demons and snowdrift. Okay, so we've moved up. We've generated the eclipse. We definitely have infused darkness. And this card is going to be a lost card. So Deathwalker is done, and now the snow imps are up. So in order, number 1 comes up first, then number 3. They're just coming straight at us. And finally, the last one is already within range. So this is an attack of 2, and we're going to get brittle inflicted on us again. We're already in range 3. So attack of 2 from the monsters. -1. So 1 damage. So the snow imps are done. And Disha is up next. So Disha is fairly injured. I didn't want to expose to too much damage. I wanted to move up 2 and allow 2 allies to move up as well. So the goal here was to move up onto that shadow, and I can move the banner up. And now one other person I can move up by 2 spaces. The Frost Demon is moving before the Bone Shaper, so it's going to be there. If I move one of these skeletons up, I could move either 1 or number 2 up to just behind our Deathwalker. Then on their turn, they could move up and be ready to attack. Let's put Skeleton 2 up in harm's way, because I have a feeling that being up front with all this incoming damage is probably going to prove fatal, and we're trying to get our Skeleton number 1 to glory. We moved that ally up as well. That is it for our Banner Spear. Yep, because there's nobody in range for this tip of the spear attack. I was figuring if somebody was going to end up right there, right in front of our Deathwalker, didn't know the snowdrifts were there, but I could have moved to maybe one side or the other and targeted different spots. But nope, no such luck. Banner Spear done. Now the Frost Demons go. Let's see, in order. So the front one, they only get to move one this turn, which is nice. And the one in the back is, I didn't really consider this. I've still been treating them as obstacles, but actually enemies can move through them as though they were allied to the enemy figures. If he had a movement of 2, this Frost Demon could just move straight over those rocks. Something to keep in mind, maybe for future turns it can just take a straighter line, but the move of 1, you can only get to there. So they don't do any attacks, because he's just at range of 1. So Frost Demon is done, and now Isoun and the small army get to move next. And the order matters. Skeleton 1 activates, then the Wraith gets to activate, but every space of movement must get it closer to its target. So I guess they removed all the things in the first room so that the summons wouldn't get stuck, which means that is how it is meant to be played. So the Wraith only gets to move up by 1, range of 3, just doesn't have the distance to hit anything yet. But Scambling Skeleton number 2 gets to move up, just out of range of the Banner of Strength, though. It only has the radius of 2 with its helpful ability, which means this is just an attack of 2, but they do get to ignore the Retaliate since I put that ability on. So just straight attack of 2. No other things involved. Just checking. Yeah, there's no other things that I would really want to mess with there. Maybe I could use the Horn of Command to move the Wraith up to a better position. That is technically a much better spot. If I can Horn of Command, just so that I can choose where they're moving, I want the Wraith to move up there, because next turn they can move and then make a useful attack, especially because they'll be within range of the banner. So I'm going to say I use the Horn of Command to get them to a good spot. So now the last summon makes this attack of 2. Am I ever going to get one of those Heal the Necromancer cards? Not today. So 2 damage to the Frost Demon, no Retaliate, because we are now resistant to that stuff. And now Isoun themselves. Plan here was to use Fell Remedy and a movement of up to 4. But the idea here is to consume the darkness. So make that a heal of 4, a 2/1 ally within range 3. And we get another XP out of that. So the plan there is heal up the Banner Spear, who is now ready to get back into the action, to jump forward and do some maneuverability stuff, at least starting next turn. And we can move up to 4. I just specified why I want the Wraith to be there. And if I move any closer, I'm just going to be in the way. Like, I'm going to be taking damage from the imps, from those stupid snowdrifts. We're just going to have to stay put here in the back. Isoun is done, and that was the last one from that round. So we can end this round. Let's see. Yeah, only the characters take the snowdrift damage, so the skeleton's safe from that. And we'll be right back with our cards for next round. Okay, here we go. Ready for the next round. And what do we have? Oh, we're going in the first 3 slots. Yep, I wanted to go fast for this one, and it worked. So the Snow Imps, Restoration. They're doing healing stuff. So I want to make sure anyone I touch, I finish off. Although that means they're not attacking, and they're the elites, so I suppose that's good for us. That reminds me that whenever they're doing something like a positive ability, they always move as though they were trying to do a focused single-target melee attack, and then they do the positive ability to the best that they can. So when they have something like that, that means that they are going to rush in as close as possible to all of us, which may set us up for nice attacks as well. And the Frost Demons doing the Cold Claws again. Movement of 1, an attack of 3, up to 2 targets next to it, and infusing Frost. So this time we might get hit by that, at least by the front guy, but that means the guy in the back is staying well to the rear. And he's having to take the long way around all those rocks back there. Disha is first. The Banner Spear continues to do nothing. Now, the goal here is to get an unbreakable wall off and do as much damage as possible to the snowdrifts right in front of us. So we're going to get the well, no, we're not going to use the Torchbearer. We're trying to just do a basic move there. basic move, Unbreakable Wall. So we move up. Now, unfortunately, I am just out of range of the banner spear. We aren't technically 2 spaces away. Remember that you have to count through the doorway. So we are still within 3 spaces. We sort of have to go 1, 2, 3. So our mastery attempt is still active, but it means that we're out of range for getting the bonus from the banner spear. But our formation for Unbreakable Wall is myself and the Shambling Skeleton 2, which means we hit the Frost Demon, the Snowdrift, and the other Snowdrift. An attack of 3 against each. So if I get any kind of luck, I can start knocking down these Snowdrifts. So yeah, basic move. Our attacks, we don't get a bonus, but I could use the Spyglass to get advantage on one of them. And, I mean, it makes sense. Let's see if we can wipe out that Frost Demon, especially knowing that heals are on the way. So we're going to take our attack against the Frost Demon with advantage. And we'll do that one first. Let's see, we do get a push as well, so we can push him back, but he's just going to move right back to where he is if he survives. So, advantage. Ooh, we got a critical hit, which means we have finished off. Bumps it up to 6, so that Frost Demon is not getting healed. And now we get an attack of 3 against each of the other Snowdrifts. Any kind of bonus, and we can try to finish that off. And let's see, yeah, I have also already gotten my promoter bonus because I moved, as soon as I did the long rest, I ended up moving the banner up, so we've already satisfied that for this rest period as well. 2 more attacks against Snowdrifts. +0 and -2. Okay, so we've dealt 3 damage. That's a 3 stack. To the one out front, which is the one I was hoping to eliminate. And then we only dealt 1 damage to the one in the corner. So yeah, we are currently in range of, well, getting the hazard. And let's see. Yeah, we can't push this. They are immune to force movement. So that is going to end Disha's turn. Up next is Zane, who has all of these wonderful shadows on the field now. So what are we going to do with those shadows? Well, step 1, we can move all of the shadows up to 2 hexes. And then we can do an attack of 5 as though we were in one of those spaces with a shadow, and then remove the shadow. And we can freshen up some night with that. Oh, I almost forgot, because I didn't do it beforehand. Get an experience from that maneuver. Because we're also getting an experience from Fluid Night here. Okay. So, the Deathwalker is staying put, but all of the shadows are going to move up. Let's see. I know all the enemies are going to be moving up, perhaps moving forward, but I do want to at least have a shadow next to one of these pesky snow imps that we can attack. Now, I actually want to leave the front one alive, because that's someone our skeletons can target, maybe the Wraith can target, especially if it moves up, so I actually don't want that one to be our target just yet. And that means I need to move shadows further into the room so that we can target these other ones. So move those 2 up. Let's move that one up to there. And let's have this one go directly under our banner spear. We do have an ability I've been sort of holding on to that allows us to heal. Oops. I wonder what's going on there. Oh yeah, for some reason it's not laying flat. Oh, there we go. Just had to get it not aligned. Oh, weird. So yeah, there's an ability that can heal allies who are standing on top of a shadow. So if our banner spear takes some damage, like the terrain or from these others later, we can use that to recover. So those have all moved. Now we pick one of these shadows that's next to an imp. Let's just take this one. So we remove that shadow. We perform an attack as though we were in that space. So this is a single target melee attack. And we are going to attack the snow imp. So it's an attack of 5. I don't think I need to go for the advantage on this one. Although this is a major attack. Possibly our strongest single attack. Yeah, sure, let's use the Spyglass. Let's do this right away. And so attack of 5 with advantage. Back up to our battlefield. And we need to draw cards. So player 3 at advantage. Okay, +0, and we've gotten past a -1. So, the 5 damage more than kills that imp. Yay, whittling down. Okay, but now the Deathwalker is done. Oh, I almost forgot. Because we attacked them, so we marked them, and that means we've got a new shadow on the field. Replaced one with another. And now the Deathwalker is done. So, Isone and the Shambling Army is next. So they do go in order. Let's see, so Skeleton 1. This space is reachable and is technically closer. The Wraith moves up, but we're not within range 3, so can't make the attack on the Snow Imp from there. And Shambling Skeleton 2 can move up and makes its attack well out of range of the Strength banner, but attack of 2 on the Snow Imp. Ooh, we haven't gotten one of these yet. I'm going to make sure it doesn't get... Oh, I still got stuck up. Okay. So this card, we haven't seen one yet, but this is specifically a heal of 1 to the Bone Shaper, and it's a rolling card, meaning that we continue to draw more cards until we get to a non-rolling card. So it specifically targets the Bone Shaper, who is at full health at the moment. Something I also read on the forums when I was trying to find the Bone Shaper stuff earlier is that all heal abilities must have line of sight. So if you're like around the corner in another room and you can't draw a line of sight directly back, this ability can't heal. But this actually would have done a free heal to the Bone Shaper for once. But now we draw the next card. -2. Dealt no damage. Well. And that's it for the summons. So Bone Shaper directly. Movement of up to 3. And then Eternal Torment. We're going to curse the monsters again and get a fresh attack in with one of our summons. So we can move up to 3. I'm not sure if I want to put the Bone Shaper that directly in harm's way, especially because of those stupid snowdrifts. But I can move up. I can move up, at least. Move up to there. So we're at least a little bit closer. And now I command... to make sure... Yeah, the summon specifically gets to do the attack. So, we are targeting, and we can see through that tiny little bit through the door. We can see the space. We got line of sight. So we curse the monsters. Monsters. Curse. There's 2 of them in there now. Curses are instant misses. And this skeleton gets another try. Oh, another heal to the Bone Shaper that we don't need. Now we get them. And then we miss. Which is going to force everything to shuffle. Skeleton 2 sucks. Skeleton 1 all the way. Okay, but that's going to end the Bone Shaper's turn. Movement. Well, the curse may come up handy later. There we go. So the remaining imps get to do their thing now. So they've got a flying movement of 3. I suppose if those count as enemies, because they don't count as obstacles, the imps can't stop directly on top of them. If they were obstacles, then flying, you could occupy that same space. But they cannot occupy the same space as the snowdrifts. So it's targeting the skeleton as the closest thing, and it can get adjacent to it, so it moves up to there. This one is already adjacent. They would heal allies of themselves if they could, but there aren't any in range. Snow imps are done. And this guy in the back only gets to move 1. He has no targets for his attack, so he does not create frost. Okay. And we've reached the end of this round. So we'll be back in just a moment with the cards for the next round. And of course I can't forget the hazardous terrain, 2 damage to Banner Spear. Now we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Let's get this round started. Go. And we got the first 2 spots and the last spot. Let's see, the Frost Demon's doing a hasty assault again. So move 3, attack of 2. Now it's going to get close to us. Gotta keep an eye on where we show up. And then the Snow Imp's doing something new. Dark Charm. Fly move of 2, attack 1, inflict brittle, and range 3 it will also curse, and that can consume any element whatsoever to add an additional target. Well, that stinks. Lots of nasty status effects on that, but low damage at least. Disha is up first, and Zane is last. Those are important for strategy-wise. Disha, we are planning to do Resolved Courage, get an attack off, get those 2 snowdrifts out of the way, so we can just go through the south side of that map, and also grant 2 allies a move of 3. That's going to get the banner up next to us. So, the Deathwalker is behind us. Hopefully we can clear out those 2 as well. Now let's see, do we want to give the allies the move first? There's good and bad to that. It would get the banner up, which would mean we'd have a bonus, but I also want to have that destroyed so that I can send our people in through that as well. So, let's say I only need 1 damage there, 3 damage there. Yeah, I only need to destroy 1 of them really to get my people through. Do the attack first. So attack 3 against the more damaged one. Just straight attacks. +1, that one's very dead. And the less damaged one, +0. 3 damage is still enough to clear out both of them. There we go. So, cleared out some snowdrifts. I did take the damage in the last round. And now 2 allies can move up by 3. So let's get the Banner of Strength forward. And now I can either move the Deathwalker, I could move the Bone Shaper just forward and into the current room. If I give the Skeleton the extra move, let's see. Yeah, all of the undead are going next, but Skeleton number 1 can already reach an enemy. I think the Wraith is the only one who could actually really use that, because now that I moved the banner up, they're all blocked. Moves as though they were making their attack, but they're just not making the attack, so I think the Wraith would move up to there. I don't want to think too hard about it and spend the time to look up precise rules. Gave them a move of 3. I think we're fine now. Banner Spear may be in some danger with those demons doing their pesky charms. Hopefully they die first. Okay, so that is it for Disha. Son is next, so all the skeletons get their thing going. Yep, and just so we know the stakes ahead of time, in case we fail to kill those pesky imps, I can use my exploding corpse, detonate that skeleton right in the middle, and just get an attack of 4 against the 2 surviving imps. So I'm hoping to get rid of them. Skeleton 1 goes first. It wants to target that, but they can't reach them because there's too much stuff in the way. So instead they target Snow Imp 6. Get the boost from the banner, so it's an attack of 3. Let's go. Come on, a plus. Ooh, +1, okay. Just one-shotted an imp. Good job, Skeleton 1. Skeleton 1 rules. Now more than, well, halfway to getting the a mastery. Okay, so Skeleton 1, good job. Now the Wraith is next. It's already within range 3, and it's also within range 2 of the banner, so this is an attack of 2 against the Snow Imp. And -1. Well, if we didn't have the banner, it wouldn't have been any damage, so still a net positive. And lastly, we've got Shambling Skeleton number 2, gets the bonus from the banner, attack of 3 against the Snow Imp. Let's finish them off. Oh, okay, extra health, reroll. And attack of +0. +0 is good enough, because that's 3 damage, and that skeleton has finished off somebody. You know, I just realized that I messed up on the first one, because I forgot the snowdrifts are enemies. This skeleton is so dumb, he's not going to target this loot piece. I need to spawn that elite fairy back in. Let's see, how do I get a new one? Spawn one? Well, that kind of works. How do I get an elite one, though? Oh, okay. So yeah, it's the only one left. Yeah, I've got to put him back. I messed that up. It was an attack that would one-shot this snowdrift instead. Ah, yep. I can't get all the benefits of treating these snowdrifts as enemies, like the shadows and all the kill stuff, and not target them properly when I should. So he still gets the kill credit, he still gets kill number 3 for that snowdrift, but Snow Imp number 1 is still in play. Yeah, that means when this guy attacks... Okay, this would have done the 1 damage to this one, he would have done the attack on that one. So actually, the one over there should be alive. Yeah, fixing mistakes is complicated, but I'm pretty sure the one down below was earlier in the initiative, so the Wraith would have attacked that one, definitely, and then the Skeleton would have attacked that one because of the lower initiative. So we did still get the kill, just it was a different one and the order was messed up. Okay, I believe I have fixed my mistake, and that's all of the summons have gone, so now we can have the Stone Bone Shaper take their own turn. So, I think we're still going to use the Exploding Corpse. Like, we can one-shot it. I want to avoid a multi-target curse scenario getting put into us. Yeah, we kill the summon. I don't like the lost card, but we're doing pretty well. Let's just burn through all of this stuff. So we get the XP there. Attack of 4. And we're attacking everyone adjacent to that summon. So we're going to blow up Shambling Skeleton number 2. Now, interestingly, even though we already got a bonus from the banner, this is now during a different turn, because it's during the Bone Shaper's turn. So we can still add that +1 and make this an attack of 5 that we're blowing up the skeleton to do against that Snow Imp. Let's see. We don't have any advantage or anything. Nope. Okay. Hey, +0. Okay. The Snow Imp still died, so the loot just ends up there instead. That skeleton is gone. At least for now. It may come back. I need to remember to put its card into the discard. Sometimes I forget that. And let's see, is that it for the turn? No, we still have a move. We can move 2, and then get one of our summons a move of 2. But we want to be aware of this Frost Demon who's moving 3 and doing a melee attack of 2. So if I let Skeleton 1 move forward, then the Frost Demon can't reach. Yeah, can't reach. Put him there, it's all the same, so I can choose the path. So yeah, we'll still be safe from that. This one has to move first. Everywhere is blocked, so can't move forward. Then the summon gets to move. So Isone is now done. Okay, Frost Demon, move 3. Let's just move him straight up, right down the gut, into all of us, but doesn't get to attack. The Snow Imps are all gone, so they don't get to move. And now Deathwalker, Master of Shadows. Okay, gets a move of 2, move all the shadows up to 1 hex, and then is using the Shadow Step for a move of up to 3 and attack of 3. Let's see, where do I really want to end up here? I'm basically going to jump all the way around in this case, but where do I want the shadows to be? I suppose first, we're just going to move 2 spaces to get to there. Maybe I want to be on the top. No, this is all going to work out. So I need to pull the shadow off of that space. I can move it forward 1. So let's just put it underneath our Deathwalker 4 now. I can move all of the other ones up to 1 space. Just move them forward again. Let's see. Now I can move up to 3. I guess I need this one to be here. So I can move up to 3 and then attack for 3. I'm going to get the retaliation damage, which will solve my brittle problem. And everything else should be fine. So that all works out. We moved 2, now we can move 3 and attack 3. We don't have a Spyglass, nope, we used it. We can use the Fueled Falchion to just, let's see, make it suffer 1 damage. And I think I can wait until after I've done the, drawn the modifier for this to choose. It doesn't say declare beforehand like the leather armor does. So I have 1 extra damage in reserve. And move up. Attack of 3. Nope. No extra bonuses, so we deal 3 damage. We get 1 retaliation, which is doubled, and then the brittle is resolved. Doesn't make sense to do 1 bonus damage here. So we'll continue saving that item, only 1 use for scenario. And Zane is done. That's going to bring this round to a close, and we'll be back with our next round. Time for us to start moving forward again. Just about forgot. Our flexible slippers. We can loot the hex that was next to us for the Deathwalker, because there was in fact loot right next to us. So I'm going to draw 1 piece of loot for the Deathwalker from the app. See what we get. Ooh, a snow thistle. That is the pretty looking one down on the bottom. That's the thistle. We're going to have to start resting again real soon. We're almost out of cards. Okay, here we go. Starting the next round. So, let's see. We got our Necromancer, Bone Shaver, needed to long rest because we were so low on cards. Everyone else is going to have to do a rest next turn. Yep, definitely feels like we're going through cards pretty fast here. But we've also got a bunch of constant abilities active as well. So Zane did get to go first, but then the Frost Demon is doing an Ice Barrier, movement of 3, shield of 2, and if there is fire active, they hurt themselves for 1. Well, I happened to use something that made fire last turn, I think the Exploding Corpse, so we're going to get a free point of damage from that. If I have anything that's going to inflict a wound or something, that would be useful. But regardless, Zane is first. I have to be sure not to use a basic move. So really what I wanted to do here was just Anger of the Dead and do as much damage as I could to the guy right in front of me. Now having the disadvantage kind of sucks here, but I don't want to do a basic attack because that would be bad. But with that specific card, this is the one, this is the card where I can remove shadows within range 3, and each one of them adds an extra damage to my attack. It starts out at, I think, 2. Yeah, but each shadow that I pull is going to give me extra experience and extra damage. And assuming I finish him off, that will give me a whole bunch. So, only has 3 health left. If I consume the shadow I was on and the shadow back there, that gives me an expected damage of 4 before any plus or minuses. And that should put me in a pretty good spot, even with a disadvantage to finish him off. Yeah, the disadvantage could be key. And then if I get him, I get a new shadow back where he was. So, this is an attack of 4 at disadvantage. I'm also getting 2 experience from the card. And yeah. Come on, just no miss. Okay, the -2. That drops him down to 1 health. But that means his own firewall is going to finish him off. So technically, this attack by the Deathwalker has marked him. Let's see, do I have... Where is the markers? Is that it? Yeah. Yeah, because I can place a token on the target when he dies, so it doesn't have to be the Deathwalker's attack that triggers it. Oh, nice. I can just sit on top of him. Okay, so when he finally does die, Shadow will show up right there. And if I do a basic move, I'm going to lose that really good perk booster. So we're just going to sit put and not use the bottom half of his card. Frost Demon shows up, does an Ice Barrier. Moves, I guess the target, so it's just going to stay put, does some shield, and we get the benefit of, thanks to that fire being there, it takes itself out. Aha. Okay, and some extra loot dropped. Interestingly, when someone dies via, like, wound or from their own actions, nobody gets credit for that kill. But hey, they've taken themselves out for us, so now it is Disha's turn, along with the spear itself. So, the plan here was to finally use our boots, move forward by 2, get a loot off, and then see whether it made sense to heal anyone as of this point. So we're going to use our crude boots, so during our move, add +1 move, and that gets us a move 2, loot 1. So let's move forward 2 spaces, and we are going to pick up that loot and also the one currently under a skeleton. Shuffle, 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 and there we go. And then, yeah, it's only going to cost me 1 hit point, so do a heal 3 to all allies, and for each one that healed in this way, got hit points, we take a damage. So yeah, transfer of 3 for 1. At all costs is an extremely good heal if you're not using the reinforcement. Still a card well worth keeping and using. Oh, and an XP from that. Awesome. So now we're going to end the turn and we're going to see what we got. So, there we go. 1 arrow vine and 2 lumber. I'm going to double check that that was arrow. Yep, arrow vine is the one with the 3 prongs sticking straight up. Banner spear is now done. We are still within range of the spear, but it did say we all have to escape. So everyone does have to get all the way across the map, and the banner spear only has 2 abilities that can move this stupid banner. Clearly I'm starting to sour on it if I'm saying stupid banner, but it's basically, I can move it at most 5 spaces forward between every rest. So if we're starting to run low, I have to worry about what's in this last room. Guess I'm not being as efficient with the cards as I was hoping. But banner spear done. Isoan is now resting, but all of the summons still get to do their things, like attacking these silly snowdrifts. So skeleton 1 gets their attack of 2 with a bonus of 1 from the banner. And missed. They missed the snowdrift somehow. Okay, now the Wraith does the same thing. Range 3, attack of 1, boosted by the banner against that snowdrift. And it is doubled! So that's actually bonus up from 2, so it one-shotted that snowdrift, which is going to save us a damage to the banner spear at the end of this round. 2 damage. So, I mean, that's great, but we do still need to get through this next door. Okay, now Bone Shaper's turn is just going to be a long rest, and once we've resolved that, it's time to pick our new cards. And we're going to have double rests going on for the other people. Well, let's end this round, and I'll resolve the rest. We'll be right back with a very short round after this. Going to be a very short round, because 2 of us are long resting. The only one doing anything productive is going to be Isoan, with initiative 81. No enemies left right now. So the summons do still go first. So our shambling skeleton is basically targeting the closest of the enemies, which are all range 4 away, so I'm just going to target that one. Be nice if that one was out of the way. It's the most interrupting, I suppose, of having our people around the door. And now the Wraith. The closest one to that is much more obvious. So attack of 1, still near the banner, so attack of 2. +0, so we can put 2 marks on this snowdrift. Okay, the summons have done. And now we're going to move forward closer to the next door, and we're going to summon another skeleton. So, get our XP, get our 2 damage, and that card's going to be sticking around. We're going to move first, just grab some more loot, and it's mostly an ordering thing, so I keep taking the same numbers back each time. But we're going to put him... Let's see, if I put him there, it's less in our way. And then they can continue attacking the snow rocks. And moving forward. That's actually it, so let's figure out what our loot is. Mark that turn done. Okay, we got 2 gold. That's it, 2 gold for the Bone Shaper. And now the other 2 characters can resolve their long rests, and I think we really need to find a way to just get into that door, open it up, see what our final condition is to escape. I'm worried about what the snowdrifts are going to be like, maybe some actual obstacles in this last room. or if they're just going to be full of those frost demons or something. Ah, yes, and we did get that shadow from the frost demon that we finished off. Even though it finished itself off, it was still marked. So, end this round. I'm going to resolve those rests. We'll come back with next round's cards. Okay, here we are, ready for the next round. It's such a long chamber that it's going to take us probably another whole round just simply crossing it, unfortunately. So, Disha is up first, and yet again, we're finding it easy to target our allies with our cards, because grant 2 allies within range 3, movement of 3. And we're also just going to chuck an incendiary throw, try to take it out in one of those snowdrifts, because we've got a small ranged attack. Let's use it. So since we're not moving, we'll just start with the attack. Yeah, we're already within 3 of the banner. The only target is this snowdrift, so it becomes an attack of 2 from the banner. It only has 2 health. Plus 0. Okay, so that's going to finish off this snowdrift. It's not like we have to destroy every single one, but it just clears the way for us. It's going to make life easier in the long run. Now, the banner... Oh, I forgot to get my 2 health from the rest. Okay, move the banner up by 3, and then we can move one other person up by 3. I'm tempted to make that be the Bone Shaper. The Deathwalker does have a lot of movement abilities, like at least one of them is teleport to the location of a shadow, so I could basically move a shadow to an escape hex and then teleport to it at the end. I'm not as worried about getting the Deathwalker out as I am about the Bone Shaper and our Banner Spear. And the Bone Shaper tends to do a lot of basic moves, something that is disallowed to the Deathwalker in this scenario. Get all of them moved up a bit. Banner Spear just stays put, though, for now. Actually, if they were there, I can move them to this space, but that's going to block the skeletons from attacking stuff. I could put them on the loot, but they'd have to stay there on their turn. Yeah, we're just going to leave them there. Okay, Banner Spear, done. Okay, Isone and the Shambling Horde are up next. First up, Shambling Skeleton number 1. Moves right here and attacks the Snow Rock. So, attack of 2 within range of the Banner Spear. A bonus of 1. 3 damage. It's not quite destroyed yet. Now the Wraith gets to go next. All of these things are equal distant of 5 away, so move 2 spaces up. We're within range. Let's see if we can just get them to finish this off. So attack of 1, boosted by the banner. Okay, plus 0. This Snow Rock is finished off. Okay. And last is the Shambling Skeleton in the back. Moves up by 2, attacks this Snow Rock, gets the bonus, so attack of 3. Move that 3 stack right onto the other one. Okay, and Isone's turn herself. So we've got our move of 2, and we can just let one of our summons make an attack and move. Yeah, wasn't planning on using the heal for anything, so basic move, and let the summon try to finish that off. Actually, let's have the summon go first. Let's give that attack move to our special skeleton number 1. So attack of 3 again, plus 0. That's our 4th kill on the kill counter for this special skeleton. Haha. And then we'll just basic move on the other side. Technically, an enemy died this round, so I could heal back up to full on that. Actually, I think that's the better move if I can swing it, just half the health. Just use a big move card to get out there. Or maybe continue benefiting from the Banner Spear's ability to get to the end there. So, Isone finished their turn. Now Zane gets the last action this round, currently in the back. So we can do a move of 3, boost up some shadow, and I do have Anger of the Dead. I'm just going to use it in its basic form. I don't want to consume any shadows unless there's one stuck way behind right now. So move of 3. Let's see. Yeah, get out of the shadow. I still don't want to stand next to it. And yeah, that one's a little bit far back, but I'm sure I can find a use for it. Okay, so just a straight attack of 2 against the Snowdrift, not consuming any shadows to boost it up. And we missed the Snowdrift. All of my misses have been on Snowdrifts, which I suppose I shouldn't complain too much about. We infuse some dark in there. And that is Zane's turn. So I think we can at least open the door on the next round and find out this last section to read. So that's going to be it for this round. Let's mark that. End of round. And we'll be right back. Okay, we are back again. Let's crack open this door. View up and start round. So you can tell what we're doing here. Our Deathwalker is going to run through that door, pop it open, see what we can find, and then our other 2 people will hopefully react to what we find. So let's get this started. Since Zane is going first, I am using a loss card here, movement of 6, and then whatever spot I stop in, I get to place a shadow. And on the other half, attack 5, perform as if you were occupying a space with a shadow, then remove the shadow. So I'm effectively trying to run in with 6 and then attack 5. Because we just did the long rest stuff, I can immediately use the advantage thing. So attack 5 with advantage here, and maybe even replace the shadow with a new one, if I'm lucky, depending on what I can reach in the next room. So we're all set. We've still got our falchion. We do have the corrupted scroll still. Perhaps even heal myself with that, at the risk of getting poisoned. We are ready to go in. So Deathwalker first. 1, 2, and 3. So what's in here? Well, not too bad. So yeah, these escape, those are clearly the escape hexes, but it's like it's a defensive formation in front of us. That's unpleasant. Okay, let's read the section that just came out. What section did it say to read? Nope, Avalanche, page 6. Here it is. It's just snow, you keep telling yourself. You've faced the giant Algox, packs of wolves, and far worse threats on your journey so far. You will not let snow defeat you. You won't even entertain the possibility. So all of the snowdrift and rock tiles from the earlier ones just get removed, and each of those is an escape hex. So I believe all we have to do is move onto them. So I guess at the end of your turn, if you're in an escape hex, you are removed from the board. I think last time I just removed them at the end of round, but this time there are only the 3 escape hexes, so if you had 4 characters, you couldn't all be on one at the same time. Ooh, okay. So yeah, we've got a barrier in front of us and a full 6 enemies. So we moved 3 to get here. Now, what I still have up my sleeve is I've got 3 more movement, and I've got an attack of 5 with advantage. If I can just... I think my best bet is to go down to the south side, because this is the most dangerous individual enemy, and we've got an elite and a regular. We've got an elite and a regular, so the south side is weaker. Maybe it's because we've got the 3 characters and not 4. If they were 4, we'd have more elites, I'm sure. Yeah, I think my best bet is to come down here, and then see if I can just eliminate one of the snow imps. If we just have two regular characters, and especially if the imps can't stop on top of those hazardous terrain objective things, that's probably our best move here. So we have moved 6, and we can create a shadow in the space that we end, but since we're immediately going to remove it again, I'm not going to put it on the board. So move 6, we now have a shadow there. That card's going away. Now attack 5. Get our XP. I hope I didn't already do that. I'll check in the edit and fix it if I made a mistake. So we're refreshing darkness. Haven't done that yet. So attack of 5. We're using our advantage spyglass. Yep, advantage in 1 attack. And I'm awfully tempted to use the fueled falchion if it would help at all here. But I've got 1 damage just waiting. Before I check any more stuff, I should see what we drew for the new people that just spawned in. So the frost demons are gathering the frost. They are immobilizing all enemies, which is us, within a range of 2, And if there's frost active, which there isn't, they would heal themselves for 3. Okay, so our Deathwalker may get immobilized, but if I'm able to make like shadows and maybe move those shadows around, teleporting is not a movement effect. Yeah, the back portion of this room is completely inaccessible unless you've destroyed one of these impediment snow tiles that's in the way to get back there. Our Deathwalker has some teleport ability, like teleport to a shadow. So if I move a shadow back there and teleport to it, at least the Frost Demons can't get to me, because with their only ranged stuff, and the Imps would have to hit me with ranged stuff. But it's still not that safe, because you'd still take the 2 damage at the end of the turn. The best bet is probably just to get out at that point, as long as you can. Okay, attack 5 with advantage against Snow. Forgetting again. What are the Imps doing? They are just strengthening and then muddling. They're not moving, so all that really means is that every surviving enemy in this side is going to be strengthened. Yeah, it looks like our Deathwalker is going to end up muddled, but after the big attack. So, not so bad. Okay, now we can finally do our attack. Draw 2 cards. Disadvantage. Ooh, a critical hit. And that's 10 damage to something, so we have absolutely destroyed that imp. And we can place a shadow either in that space or a space that's adjacent to it. If I can get a shadow back there, then maybe I can teleport and just basically get at least one person out as quickly as possible who's not exhausted. Okay, Zane is done, but Zane also has those shoes, those little slippers, that I'm going to remember to use properly right now for once. So, loot an adjacent hex instead of the one you're on. So before we end our turn, our Deathwalker is going to get 2 coins, which means 4 gold. So, 4 more gold for the Deathwalker. And who's up next? Okay. Yeah, no one in this back room is actually moving. But for the rest of this round... Oh, it's immobilizing. So our Deathwalker is going to be immobilized as well as muddled at the end of this. I'll just apply both right now. Okay, and there's no frost, so that's all that the Frost Demons are going to get to do. Now the Snow Imp muddles, yeah, within range 2, so this one's going to muddle him, and everyone else is just going to get strengthened. So let's do this. If I have to do it in bulk, I've got a slightly faster way to do it. There. You didn't get your strength. There, now they've all got the muscle. So advantage on their next turn, which does not look good for our Deathwalker. But the Snow Imps are done. So next up is Disha and the banner for the Banner Spear. So combined effort and then at all costs. It's mostly, I'm not even really hoping for the healing effect. I just want to get forward and then do something. We don't really have... I lost our ranged attack card earlier, which I'm regretting a little bit. But we're going to combine effort. We're going to move forward. If we use our boots, which we got back in the refresh, we can move forward 3 spaces, and then 2 allies within range 2 can move ahead by 2. So we can get all the way up to that shadow, and we are definitely bringing the banner forward with us. But now we can't bring the banner forward again until the next rest, so we can't go too far ahead. And we can move one other person forward again. If I get Shambling Skeleton 1 forward, then they're at least going to be able to, like, attack a Snowdrift. If I move the Wraith forward by 2, the Wraith will get to also attack a Snowdrift. Not terribly exciting, but at least it could attack a Snowdrift with the Strength banner. I'm not putting the Bone Shaper in there first, though. So we're going to put Skeleton number 2 in harm's way. It'll be out front, absorbing all of this strengthened damage. That was the Banner Spears. Oh no, we still got the at all costs, but nobody has suffered any damage right now except for the Banner Spear. So, yeah, we have healed 3 all allies. It had no effect, but we get an experience for that, and we don't suffer any damage. And now Ison and the Hordes go next. So Skeleton number 1 goes first. Can't reach anything. Wraith goes forward next. can't quite reach anything. And skeleton number 2 can just barely reach a snowdrift, not in range of the spear, so just attack of 2. -2, failed to damage snow. Skeleton number 2 continues to disappoint. Okay, now Ison's turn proper. So the goal here was move 2, get a summon forward. Eternal Torment. Grant one of your summons adjacent to the target of the curse ability an attack. But, so yeah, the problem here is just, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I could actually target the Snowdrift, but the Snowdrift is immune to conditions, so I wouldn't get to curse the monsters, which is really what I want here. And if I curse one of the monsters, then I won't get anyone to attack it, so boo. But I guess that means I want to move forward first, because I need to be in range 5. So move 2, a summon gets to move 2, and then we are going to, Dark's already strong, curse a monster. So we move forward to just taking the straight path. And then, yeah, we don't need the Wraith to move up. 2 doesn't need to move up. I guess we can put Shambling Skeleton 1 forward just a little bit, and it doesn't get the attack either. But at least we've got people in the room. Granted, they're going to be attacking the snowdrifts, but they'll be absorbing damage instead of us as we get closer. Maybe even instead of our Deathwalker, keeping them out of danger. So, still valuable. And now we are within range 5. We had to move forward, so we're going to curse the Snow Imp. It's just one more shuffled curse into their deck. How many cards have come out? They've got 3 curses in there, but none have come out yet. So at some point, the monsters are going to miss us. Although with all these stupid strengthens, they're probably just going to get to ignore our curse cards anyway. So that sucks. But better to at least have them in those decks. Okay, I think we're going to have the promoter well in the bag, because we're just moving that banner up all the time as soon as we rest. Ison done, and that's the last one in that round. So this round ends. And it's time for us to pick cards for the next round. Okay, we're back. Let's get this next round going. The end is at least within sight. May take us some effort to get there, though. Let's go. So, Disha's first. What are those imps doing? Oh, they're healing! Great, as currently all of the enemies are at full health, so they don't have anything to heal yet. I hope that anyone I manage to harm is either fully killed or, well, just fully killed. I wonder if they can heal snowdrifts? They count as enemies. They don't really have hit points, though. They just have damage counters on them. Like, literally, there's no hit point bar. It's just, whenever they would suffer damage, you place damage tokens on them to mark it. But that's like in the normal, like, physical game. That's how you're supposed to mark damage for everything, though. So, arguably, healing just picks up the damage markers. So, I guess they could heal the snow. They're considered figures. Those hexes are considered occupied. They're not obstacles. Yeah, it just says damage they suffer is marked by placing damage tokens directly on it. I guess they can be healed. So we have to watch out for... Yeah, all 3 of the remaining imps are going to be performing a heal of 2, so we really don't want any partially alive snowdrifts. Oh, the rules are really weird here. But as far as I've read them, that's how it works. Okay, and those frost demons are doing frozen shards, so it's a range attack, but only a range of 2. So it can move 1 or 2 if it's elite, attack of 3 at range 2, and if there is frost, they can consume it. There is still no frost. I've kept frost out of the scenario, so it's a short range attack, just attack of 3 at range 2, and they can move to try to get away from the disadvantage, basically. Okay, so we know what they're doing. Let's get to it. So, Disha does have... the plan is to use a basic move just to get a little bit closer, and then tip of the spear, just try to get a snowdrift out of the way so we can just plow straight through to that escape out the exit. So basic move, and you'll see what we're doing once we're over on this side. So up to there. Now the Bone Shaper is behind us. We've got our formation, and it can hit this tile and the snowdrift right in front of that skeleton. So attack of 3. We are outside of the banner's range, but we are still within range 3 for that mastery thing. It'll suck if we don't get it after all of this work. So not using advantage here, saving that for the enemies. Just one attack. Ooh, +1. Okay, we stole a kill from our skeleton friend. I'm not as worried about that one right now. I just want to get out of here. So, Snowdrift can't be healed by those imps. But that also means Disha is done. Now, Zane is up next. Zane, who is immobilized and muddled down in the corner here. What can we do? Now, I could theoretically teleport, but right now that teleport would just move me out of danger. And really, I want to take some of the heat away from the rest of them. So, it's not so much that I want the basic, like the movement of 2. I want to be able to move all of the shadows up to 1 hex. And first, we're going to do the attacks, so hopefully I have more shadows to move. We're consuming the darkness to add 1 damage and get some more XP. So, attack of 3 at 2 targets at range 2. So, we're really just going to be hitting the 2 right in front of us. And we're already at disadvantage with the muddle, so it doesn't matter that we're next to the Frost Demon. It's just an attack of 3 against each of these, and hope that we can overwhelm that Snow Imp and start whittling down the Frost Demon. So, Frost Demon first, attack 3 at disadvantage. Well, they're both -1, so that's 2 damage onto the Frost Demon, and we take 1 from retaliation. Now, same thing, attack of 3 with disadvantage at... Ooh, okay, we got the Imp. And, because we were targeting them, we can put a shadow in play. Now, we have reached maximum shadows. Oops, no, not the blindfold. Accidentally hit B instead of the Control V for paste. So, we have our max shadows on the field. We've got 5. Ah, that was good. So, fewer heals in the way. Yeah, I guess the damage we did to the Frost Demon will be healed up. We're narrowing it down. And we just gotta keep the pressure on. At the end of Zane's turn, both of those are going to go away. Nothing for me to loot. Nothing adjacent right now. Okay, so the Snow Imps get to go. So, they act as though they are doing a single target melee attack. So they are both focused on us. Let's see. Well, he's technically earlier, so the Snow Imp would go up to it. Hey, that means we've got a good attack for that skeleton now. And the other one, they're both equal range. But this one's closer in terms of movement spaces. Because you can get adjacent to that one more easily than this one. So, oh wait, that one's elite. Well, it would have moved first anyway, but the logic's all the same anyway. That one's closer in terms of movement spaces. Oh, they've got a movement of 3. Let me make sure that is all still correct. Yeah, movement of 3 versus movement of 3. He actually is still closer. Okay, I didn't do anything wrong. All good. Okay, and now they do their heal. So, yeah, this one's going to get healed back up to full. But they are done with their strengthens. They wasted it. And they're done with their actions. So, Frost Demon's doing a Frozen Shard. The Elite goes first. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Equal distance. This one's first. He can get in range to target it, therefore that's the attack. So it's an attack of 3 with advantage against our shambling skeleton. But we do have our Warden Robes and our little scepter, so we can get up to 3 shield on our heroic skeleton, see if we can keep it alive. Okay, attack of 3, advantage from the monsters. A +1, well, they got rid of their miss, but they did get the +1. So it's an attack of 4. And yeah, let's use the Bone Shaper's ability, the Warden Robes. That gives 2 shield, so our skeleton's going to be down to their last hit point, but still alive. Yep, and no other stuff happens. Oof, yeah, glad there's no frost, or that Frozen Shard would have been real nasty, an extra bunch of damage. Okay, that one is done. Now the regular Frost Demon goes. So this one is targeting, because they're closer, the Deathwalker. So they're going to take one step back. I guess I can control how they take the step back, so let's just put them there. And now it's also an attack of 3 at range 2. Has advantage against the Deathwalker this time. Ooh, a +2. That's bad. Because we have exactly 5 health, and I have no way to get any shields. Oh, wait. No, it doesn't matter. I was thinking maybe because of the flea-bitten shell, but no, they were strictly closest to the Deathwalker. So I have to burn a card, lose a card from their hand. They've only got one. Too bad, I wanted to hold on to Black Barrage, but we must lose this card to not get eliminated. And yeah, we're very low on cards now with the Deathwalker. I think we should try to teleport them out if we can at this point. Okay, but we're still alive. That strengthen is gone. Frost Demons are done. Now it's time for our Undead Swarm to take effect. And because they're after the healers, none of their damage is going to get healed back. So, skeleton number 1, our hero, gets to attack the Snow Imp directly in front. No bonus, so just attack of 2. Here we go. Oh, heal the Bone Shaper by 1. The Bone Shaper is at full health. Okay, next card. +1. Okay, this skeleton has defeated the Imp and is up to 5 kills. Has been with us since the round 1. If they get one more kill without getting knocked off the board, then they're going to manage this, but we still need one more kill. Do they have to survive the entire scenario as well? Oh, okay. At least 6 enemies and alive for the entire scenario. We must keep Sir Skeleton number 1 alive. Okay, now next up is skeleton number 2. The Snowdrifts have initiative 99, so it does actually get to target the Snow Imp. So attack of 2 against Snow Imp. -1. Once again, skeleton number 2 sucks. Okay, we've got the Wraith up next. And let's see, it only has to move 1 space and it can attack that Imp. I think that's how it would work. And it is near the Banner of Strength range, and then long range of 3. So this is an attack of 2, thanks to the Strength Banner. Oh. And a -1. Okay, well, 2 damage. It's mostly those Frost Demons, and we just gotta finish off the Snow Imp. Okay, that's it for the summons. Now the Bone Shaper. Right, the reason they're at the end is because they're doing a long rest. They're pretty low on cards as well, but I need... All of those summons are doing something. If there was a summon like in the back, I would just dismiss them for extra cards. So I've got to choose the card to lose to resolve the rest. That's going to be it for this round. Choose cards, and we'll be right back. Okay, this is getting a little bit close here. But I think I still have enough free space in terms of cards that I can long rest both the Banner Spear and the Deathwalker. So our Bone Shaper is going to have a heck of a turn. I mean, they outnumber by themselves the remaining Frost Demons and the Imp. Well, no, the long rest is ready. I just need to start the round. Let's see how it goes. Okay, Ison did manage to go first. The Imp, if it survives, is doing nothing special. An attack inflicts brittle. Now, the Frost Demons are the important one. Chilled to the bone. Movement of 1 or 2. And then attack strength of 2 that pierces 3, and it converts any element that may exist into frost. So at least it's a weak attack, and I haven't really been using shields. Gives us a better chance of keeping our heroic skeleton alive. So let's get this party started. Ison is going first, and that means our shambling skeleton number 1 also goes first. How it should work is the elite Frost Demon is in front. Priority-wise, elites go first, so our skeleton should be going after that. I'm going to make use of the Horn of Command during one of my summons turns. I want to decide how it's doing its abilities. This is a heroic skeleton. It gets to be smart, not just a dumb summon. Which means it gets to use its move of 2 to get down here, and I can have it attack the regular Frost Demon. Aha. our last victim, hopefully. So, this is an attack of 2. We're way out of range of the Banner of Strength. Banner Spear really needs to get that thing up here. Attack of 2. No other bonuses or benefits. So player 2. Well, it heals the Bone Shaper. And then +1. Alright. Yeah, Bone Shaper has been getting all of this healing for once, finally, all at full health. Can't be given to the skeleton, sadly. But that means 3 damage to the regular Frost Demon, and no Retaliate. We've got that ability active. Next up is the Wraith. And the Wraith, sadly... Wait, not so sadly, because they're both range 3. The Imp goes before the Snowdrift, which is always last in initiative, and that means the Wraith is making a useful attack with the Banner of Strength bonus, so attack of 2 at the Snow Imp. Come on, let's go. +1. Alright, good job, Wraith. We have eliminated imps from the board. And that also means Shambling Skeleton number 2, even if he's not good at attacking, is still stupid. He wants to attack the Snowdrift. So the elite is still going to go after our friend there. We're still going to need to get lucky. But, okay, stupid skeleton, go ahead and attack your Snowdrift. Attack of 2. -1. It has not failed that skeleton number 2 sucks. All night. All night tonight. He has not been good. Ever scoring all of the luck to skeleton 1. All of the summons have gone. Now it's time for the Bone Shaper's turn. We need to get in there. Nope. Still dumb. If I give our summon an ability to move, it's skeleton number 2 is just going to keep walking directly into that Snowdrift because he's so stupid. Those curses have not been working out for me, but it might come in and save our special skeleton's unlife at some point. Then at least that demon's out of the way, and now we just have to keep the skeleton alive. I think it's pretty clear. I want to curse the Frost Demon, and then we're just going to see what happens after that. Yet one more curse into the monster deck. That means we can grant an attack of our summon against it. So it's an attack 2 from our awesome skeleton. Critical. Awesome skeleton remains awesome. This skeleton has all 6 of the kills that it needs to complete that mastery. We just need to keep it alive. There's only one more source of damage on the board, but it's coming up next. This mission's staying exciting. But now we have a movement of 2. So Bone Shaper moves in, and we can grant one of our summons a move of 2. But we've already used the horn, so if I gave it to this summon, he would just move straight towards the Frost Demon. If I gave it to this summon, he would just walk into the snowbank. If I gave it to this summon, well, that summon can't do anything. And I can't give it to anyone else's summon. It's only one of your summons. So it was really just a basic move with extra steps. So Isone is done. Oh, but Isone is next to a tile, so we can use... Does Isone have the slippers back? They do. Okay, so we can loot a tile. Oh, also because they just rested, they got the Warden's robes back, so that might be useful. So we can loot that tile right next to us, get one more loot in here. What do we get? Is that another Snow Thistle? Yep, that was another Snow Thistle. Okay, Snow Thistle for the Necromancer. Well now you've got your first Thistle. So that was it for Isone's turn. Now it's the Lone Frost Demon. It has a movement of 2, attack of 2, and it will consume the darkness that we didn't get to use and turn it into frost. So darkness gone, we got frost. Attack of 2. So because the summons go first, that's going to be the target. Here we go. I think I want it there just so that we give our Banner Spear any possible chance to get an attack in on this thing. Attack of 2. And of course it's a critical hit. But we have things we can do about this. So it was only an attack of 2, which gives us a chance. No, he has Pierce 3 though. Oh no. If he didn't have the Pierce 3, I think we would have made it. So It's an attack of 4 because it got doubled. The worst possible thing that, well, a +2 would have been just as bad. We didn't get the curse at any point here. So it's an attack of 4. Now we can apply 2 shield from the Warden's robes, and we can apply 1 shield from this Deathwalker's ability. But because he pierces 3, we ignore all of that, and he does 4 damage anyway. Our awesome skeleton has been taken out at practically the last possible moment. That means we're not going to do the mastery, so all that stuff got totally messed up. So upset. But that goes down to the discard, so it's available again. And keep it alive for the entire scenario. So close! No. Well, the banner is still a possibility, but that hurts. Dang you, Frost Demon. Okay, and the other 2 are just resolving their long rests. They at least are going to heal back up to full. Really, we just have to get out of here before we lose card draw. Oh, and you take your 2 damage for being next to the snowdrift. Okay, so I've got to choose the cards to lose and choose our cards for next round. We just have to defeat the snow at this point. And 1 pesky Frost Demon. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can eliminate that Frost Demon and bust our way out of here. And start the round. What is this demon doing? Cold Claws! Move to attack of 3, 2 targets in front of it. Okay. Seems simple enough. So Zane is going first. And we're going to use Fluid Knight. So make some fresh darkness. Attack of 5, as though you were in a space with a shadow, and then remove the shadow. Now I've got 2 options. Option number 1, I can simply try to destroy one of the snowdrifts. If I destroy it, a shadow drops, and I can simply stop in an escape space and escape with the first character. Or, if I use the shadow underneath the loots right there, I can attack the Frost Demon. I can use my advantage stuff. Probably not going to kill it, but I can certainly make it so that other people can have a good shot at it later. And then I can still teleport to a space adjacent to one of these things, but as long as we break down 1 snowdrift, next turn we all hopefully can just run out. So I'm going to pick up that shadow so that I can attack the big Frost Demon. We do have an attack of 5, and we've got our advantage. And I've not used it yet, so one way or another, I'm going to use the Fueled Falchion and just deal an extra damage to this thing. Attack 5 with advantage, and then +1 afterwards. Okay, our better card is 0, so we dealt 5 damage to it. Yep. And yeah, I remember looking up the perform the attack as though you were in that space, but Retaliate would still not apply to me because I'm too far away. Retaliate is not one of the things that is treated as though you're in the other space. So, 5 damage, and then the Fueled Falchion. We deal 1 damage, and technically that's an enemy that's next to it, so we're going to just drop our 2nd damage onto that snowdrift. So, good job there. And now the Deathwalker can... Yeah, we didn't get to put down a fresh shadow, but we did mark that Frost Demon. And now we can teleport to any space that is on or adjacent to a shadow, given the bottom of the other card. So, yeah. We can't teleport over the barrier, but we can teleport... Well, we've got a card with a move of 3, so if we stop there, we don't take the damage, and we can just run through next turn. Yeah, you can't get the double loot, but I'll leave that for someone else. Okay, Deathwalker done. Disha is up next. We long rested, which means we've got our ability to have allies within 3 move 3 again. And we're going to follow up with a tip of the spear right afterwards. So, of course, we're bringing the banner up right behind us. That gives us the formation to attack the Frost Demon. And we can allow 1 other character to make a move of 3. Might as well just have that be the Bone Shaper. Okay, just down to there then. I think yeah, especially if we dismiss all of the remaining summons, we've got enough cards to get the Bone Shaper out. Because they can escape 1 by 1, they stop losing cards at that point, so we're going to be fine. Okay, attack 3 at the Frost Demon. We've got the banner right behind us. And we also have our spyglass for advantage. So attack 4 with advantage. Let's draw our cards. +0. Okay. Tip of the spear, we have eliminated the last enemy. Nice how it kicked off of the marker there. Okay. And now, what's left? I don't need to play with those. Now we just need to escape. But there's still snowdrifts in our way. So the attack was our second thing. That means the banner spear is done. No enemies left. Let's just try to get out of here. So the remaining shambling hordes are stuck, dumbly attacking snowdrifts. I'm pretty sure I don't have my horn back. I haven't long rested with this character. So the Wraith actually goes first, gets the benefit of the banner, is attacking that snowdrift. Attack of 2. Okay, we've eliminated another snowdrift. And, yep, move first. So now the skeleton moves up and attacks the snowdrift. Oh, right. I don't think it'll matter, but yeah, the shadow does get created there for that guy who died. And, yeah, snowdrift, attack, no banner bonus, attack of 2, +1. Of course, you're going to make me put 3 damage on a snowdrift. Okay, Bone Shaper themselves. Let's see, the plan was a move of 4 and then grant a summon the 0/0. I could do a basic move and just summon a skeleton right next to that wall to please attack the wall that's in the way. Give an ally an attack of 5. Problem is nobody's next to the wall right now because we don't want to take the damage. Okay, you know what? I'll go after the loot too. I've got 4 health, so it's going to take 2 turns to die from that stupid wall. So, we're moving basic move up to there, and we're summoning a skeleton right next to us. With this one, so we get our XP. Basic move. New skeleton. Skeleton will be 3 so that we get the order right. So, hello, skeleton. Let's see, like, which space do I want to try to get everyone to focus on? That one. So, this skeleton now exists right there. Doesn't get to act until next turn. This zone is done. I didn't empty the loot deck, did I? Okay, so what did it give us? Oh, wow, it gave us 2 coins and then a 3-coin piece. So we just got 10 gold. Get to do the bulk bonus there. Suddenly wealthy, haha. Okay, but that is the last person who was running there, so that's the end of the round. Let's check. We still haven't done any basic moves with the Deathwalker. We've still managed to keep close enough to that Banner of Strength that we haven't failed the Mastery thing, but we've also targeted an ally every turn, so we're fine. Let's just grab our cards real quick and get out of here. And we're back. Did a short rest with the Bone Shaper. Need to pull one more card out of there. Starting the round. It's just us at this point, so I don't really need to bring up the special view. Okay, Zane is up first. Let's see if we can break a hole in this wall. So we plan to escape with Call of Doom, but we've got Anger of the Dead. Let's just consume all the shadows that are within range, pump this attack up, and see what we can do. So we've got 2 shadows that I see within range. One was underneath that skeleton, and another is underneath that loot. So that gives us a bonus of 2 attack. The piercing doesn't matter, but also 2 experience. So if we go back down to here, let's see. Yep, 2 more experience. Clearly Anger of the Dead is the card that you use if you want to get more experience for your character. And as long as we break through, so it's an attack of 4. I think we already used our advantage. And then if we get through, we got our move of 3. Okay, attack of 4. Targeting the one right in the middle of everyone. +1, alright. We have busted open a wall. And that means we can use our movement of 3. We have reached one of the escape tiles, so at the end of our turn, the Deathwalker escapes. We don't need to put any more cards down for this character. And Zane is off the board. Now, next up is Disha, the one who is having to wrestle with this banner. But at this point, we just have to, with long rests and stuff, we can just make it happen. So we're going to get one of these masteries. Now, we're going to move 2, then 2 allies within 2 also get a move of 2. And we're healing all allies for 3. So we're using the at all costs again. So that's going to heal up the Bone Shaper. And that's it. The problem with the move 2 is I want the banner to get there. And that means I can't really get through the door tragically. So we're just moving the banner up. And if we move it forward one more time, we can escape and we'll have been within it, 3 of it the entire time. So we're gonna get it. Okay, Disha's done. We've activated all their stuff. So the zombies do their thing. Zombie attacks. It only needs 1 attack. It's also got banner bonus. Suddenly, it has inherited all of the talent. Actually, that wasn't this zombie. That was the Wraith. Because the Wraith came in before that. So the Wraith still has the banner bonus. Moves forward 1 and absolutely crushes that snowdrift. Straight off the board. Now, skeleton number 2 gets to go. Moves up, attacks that snowdrift. Still has the banner bonus. Heals the Bone Shaper. And, yep. Okay, I was worried for a second. No, that skeleton still sucks. Okay, skeleton number 3 was there just in case the other attack failed. Oh, healing more. Healing extra more. And +1. So that's 3 damage to this other one. That's still there because the skeletons are again all dumb. Whew, okay, they've all gone. Now, Bone Shaper. We can just get out of here. Move 2, grant your summon 2, and then the Eternal Torment part we don't even care about. Because we move 2. Summon goes up by 2. Yay! Okay, say that's the Wraith or something. Actually, I don't even want the Wraith to get in the way of anything. Just get out of there. Okay, the Bone Shaper has escaped. So I guess that means all of the skeletons just crumble to dust because they have no one whose turn to act on anymore. So, poof, poof. Okay, they're off the board. It's just the Banner Spear and the Spear Banner. And that round? Okay, the only one we have to worry about is Disha. And I guess I'll just short rest because I don't need any of the attacks or anything. I guess I can just game the system to get experience, just summon the Torchbearer for no reason. And if there's a reason, let's hit that wall. So, not even gonna stop here. Start round. Okay, let's get into this. So we're not moving, we're just gonna summon. So we get the 2 experience. Hello, person we're not actually too interested in. Hey, Torchbearer, come help us out. Oh yeah, you're nowhere near able to do any attacks, so we're skipping the unbreakable wall. And that's the end of this round. Torchbearer is mildly surprised at suddenly existing. 5 health? That's more than I thought they had. Not bad. Attacks, wounds with every attack. Mostly I just... because it's a lost card, it's something you really have to be careful about. I think I can just do a short rest. There's only 1 card I need, and it's the one that just moves this stupid banner. Actually, either one will do it. So let's just do a short rest. Flip that thing. That's the one I didn't want to lose, so I'm taking a damage to lose a different card. And yeah, it almost doesn't even matter what the other card is that we take. I suppose just something that'll give us an experience, so we're going to put up at all costs. Those 2 are in our hand, don't worry about it. Come on. And now we're going to start the round. So we've got our move 2. 2 allies can move, and we'll just farm another experience off of at all costs. So technically the Torchbearer moves first and runs straight at the stupid snowdrift. Hope I didn't make a huge mistake. Okay, Banner Spear moves up by 2 and allows 2 allies to move. I'm going to have the Spear move first, and the Torchbearer just moves up to the side. Okay, that's going to do it for that round. Yep, get our XP. End the round. Now, what were those other cards I wasn't worried about a moment ago? Because it's basically our last 2 cards. Yeah, actually our real last 2 cards. Gotten this closer than I first thought. Because we are just going to move forward for... the regroup doesn't matter. We're just getting out of here. Okay, yep, start the round. So, movement of 4. We are free, and we escape. And Throughout that entire time, we did remain in range of the spear of strength. Okay, let's see what happens. What's this new section? 65.1. The conclusion to Avalanche. Clawing from the snow, you find the mountain completely changed, its face wiped clean by the slide. You realize the avalanche didn't carry you as far as you had expected. You can still see the top from where you're standing, and you're not too far off. Unfortunately, with the snow cover gone, all that's left between you and the peak is a painfully steep cliff, and you're not equipped for that sort of climb. If you want to press on, you'll need to return with better gear, a harness and ropes, and as many pitons as you can carry. So we've unlocked mission number 11. Let's see. You do notice, however, that the avalanche has revealed something more. You spot a lone survivor of a storm a short distance to the east. Some sort of ruined stone structure jutting out from the ground. It's not too far off and might be worth a look. We have gained 2 collective metal, which I'm just going to put into the town supply, and we've unlocked 11 and 12. And none of the rest of this appears to have any other impact. So, yep, at the end of that round, 65.1. I believe this was a successful scenario. So I am not going to click that button that cleans everything up, because that has messed up every time on what's going on. Let's just do the end cleanup one piece at a time. So the battle goals are right in front of me. Let's do that first. We got all 3. So 1 check, and 2 checks. So 1 check. We've unlocked a perk. We also managed to... We summoned that banner first round, and we kept it alive and within range of us the entire scenario. So we're getting 2 perks today with our banner spear. And 1 check for the Bone Shaper. We're getting a perk for the Bone Shaper. And 2 checks for the Deathwalker, who does not get an additional perk. Okay, now we have to make sure we get the experience stuff. I have to do it manually because it has not been doing it for me. But that's 46 and 56. We have leveled up. So that's also going to give us a 3rd perk for the Banner Spear. Heck yeah. So 16. And they've leveled up. And now for the Deathwalker, 18. And the Special Tracker gets 12. So this one's up to 30 now. And we get to put 18, which makes it a real clear math to get up to 60. So we've all leveled up. And we've gotten 3 perks, 2 perks, 1 perk. So we're going to have a lot of character stuff to introduce in the next scenario. I feel like this has been a really long episode, so I'm almost hesitant to do the outpost phase portion. Maybe I'll release like a follow-up video that's just the outpost phase, so that it's not all in one, and you can skip the outpost phase if you want. And we'll also go over all of the character stuff in that video. Unlock scenarios 11 and 12. And I'm going to do all the rest of the cleanup off camera. Hi, Felix. Sounds like he's also needing some attention. Snowscorn Peak. Ooh, there's a boss there. Oh, right, but it's locked behind climbing gear. Oh, I'll clean up all the rest of this off screen. Thank you for sticking with me. I hope you enjoyed that. We got so close with our elite skeleton, almost gave us that extra mastery, but we didn't make it in the end. But we did get a mastery for that spear, and that means we never have to try to do that again. That was kind of fun, trying to get that one skeleton through to the end, and so close. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope to see you on the next time for the next board game here on Wheel of Games. Bye-bye.